Happy afternoon po ulit. Okay. So, today, magsisimula po ulit ang ating activity. Pero before po niyan, tatanungin ko po muna kayo, how was your lunch? Nabusog po ba? Kumain po ba ng maayos? If so, get it wrong. So, ngayon magsimula, isa pong ulit na virtual registration po on our part 2 of this assembly. So, itatype nyo lang po ulit sa chat box, NTP ako, hashtag NTP ako, tapos ano po yung designation nyo, like for example, NTP ako, nurse, MES, galing ako sa Maricaban Elementary School. Parang ganun po. So I will learn to know you more po by school and by cluster. Sa SDO po, i-type nyo rin po, like for example, sa personnel po kayo, personal department, NTP, personnel, SDO, Pasay. Ayan. So let's start. May mga nagtatype na po ba? Wala pa? Ayan. So type nyo po ulit, hashtag NTP ako, nurse SDO Pasay. Parang ganun po. Wow, busog-lusog si Ma'am Flex. I love it. NTP, okay yan. Admin Officer 2 from Pasay City West High School. Ayan, hello Ma'am Flex. Wala pa po bang iba? Nakikita ko pa lang po ay si Ma'am Flex. So, NTP ako, bookkeeper, SDO Pasay. Parang ganun po. Kaunti pala, alam niyo po, divine hours po ito eh. Madali po tayong makatulog. Pero, wag po kayong matutulog kasi po napakaganda po ng mga naka-line up na activities and lectures for today. So, there will be some changes po in the initial program, pero ngayon po, aayusin na po yun. Ayan, marami nang sumagot. Ayan. From Ma'am Jasmine Mandilag, NTP ako accountant from Pasay City National High School. Ang umahawak ng ating mga salapi. Sino pa po ba? Good afternoon po. NTP ako, registrar from Pasay City West High School. Ma'am Rosalina Perena. Si Ma'am Tongko, NTP ako, Admin Officer 1 from Pasay City North High School, MDC. How about yung mga nurses? Sagot naman dyan, mga nurses. Mga dentists. Ayan, NTP, Nurse Timoteo Paez Elementary School. Hi, Ma'am Cecil. Hi, Joka. Ayan, NTP ako, nurse from PBS. Hi, Nurse Michelle. Ayan, sino pa po ba? NTP ako, what's this? Head teacher from Pasay City South High School. Ay ma'am, welcome po sa aming non-teaching personal assembly po. Sino pa po ba? And from Ma'am Maylene Cabanatan, NTP ako, clerk from Pasay City West High School. Ay bongga ha, ang daming Pasay City West High School. Asan po yung iba? Ayan, NTP ako, ADAS 2. Senior High School from Kalayaan National High School. Ayan, welcome. NTP ako, cashier. Cashier 1 from Pasay City North High School, MDC. Ayan. Ayan, sulat nyo lang po lahat ang inyong greetings for today, this afternoon. At nawa po, hindi nyo kami tutulugan. Ano po? Kasi nga po, busog tayong lahat. So, to talk about grievance machinery, may I welcome Attorney Rujen Osmeña, the Attorney 3 of SDO Las Piñas, Pasay. So again, bonggang palakpakan. Virtual applause po.
Hi po, good afternoon. Correct ko lang po, I'm from SDO Las Piñas po. Okay. So, hi po to all of our non-teaching. I know that marami po yata ang naka-standby, okay, sa ating lecture for today. And I will be lecturing about grievance machinery. Actually, this is a very, very good topic. I say that because I speak for all the legal officers. We are actually we are promoting the alternative dispute resolution. Okay. And at DepEd, we have the grievance machinery or the grievance mechanism process. Actually, I will focus po in the school level, but along the way, from the school level, you will know din po that there are appellate jurisdiction or meron din po mga iba pang process on appeal on the grievance. Okay, actually, first and foremost, I want to greet our SDS, Ma'am Loretta Torrecampo. Thank you po for inviting me. And of course, our ASDS Tolentino po. Hi po. Okay, I have the opportunity to meet ASDS because I was one of the special prosecutor in one of the NCR cases at DepEd Pasay. So I actually met him because of that. Nevertheless, alam ko po, pag mga ganitong pagkakataon at attorney ang magle-lecture at 1 o'clock talaga yung, yung time ko, alam ko, marami akong kalaban. First, it's an unholy hour. Sabi nga po ng host natin, it's an unholy hour. I hope that you're well-fed. However, sana wag po kayong antukin. I'll try my best to entertain everyone and make this very simple because actually, this is not really so complicated. Okay, this grievance machinery is not that complicated. Very used po kayo siguro na kapag nakikita nyo ang attorney, you always think it's about cases. Ayan, may complaint na naman. Probably pag nakikita nyo po si Attorney Jean. Hi, Attorney Jean! Okay, your SDO legal officer sa SDO Pasay, very good friend of mine. Probably ang una niyong naisip, ayan na naman si attorney, meron na naman sigurong problem. Okay? Yan po ang normal connotation sa mga lawyers. But this one, grievance mechanism, we want to advocate this one. I, for myself, at SDO Las Piñas, we are, this is the priority actually, the grievance and the mediation. And I hope na after po ng lecture na to, is ma-realize po natin na hindi po lahat ng sitwasyon ay laging DepEd Order 49 ang ating Bible. May mga iba-iba pong klaseng mechanism na pwede natin i-explore. But i-advance ko po we have to know the proper grounds. Again, we have to know the proper grounds on how to apply the grievance, okay? Kasi baka mamaya, kapag after ng lecture ko, magkaroon ng misconnotation na lahat ay i-grievance. No, I hope that you will listen because I will specify the specific grounds na pwedeng i-grievance. And marirealize nyo po along the way, hindi naman pala pang admin yung issue ko. Hindi naman dapat pala ako nagko-complain. Dapat pala dinadaan ko sa grievance. Okay. Before I start din po, I want to acknowledge Attorney Aris Kawilan, okay, our former NCR Legal Regional Unit Head na ngayon ay nasa central office na. Siya ay ating OIC Director for Bureau of Learning Resources under USEC San Antonio, and siya po ang gumawa ng PowerPoint na to, and I have to give him credit. Actually, I asked permission with Attorney Aris before I start my lecture that I will be using his PowerPoint, okay, for this lecture at SDO Pasay. So thank you so much, Attorney Aris, for allowing me to use your PowerPoint. This one kasi is the one that we will be using for most of the regional activity. So I want SDO Pasay to also be acquainted with this one, okay? So I hope you're still okay. I hope that you're listening. I hope that I can answer most of your question. I will try my best to. Wag po kayong mahiya. Mag-ask ng any question kung meron kayong question at the end of the lecture. I think pagkakaroon po yata tayo ng question and answer. I'm not quite sure, but yes, I'll be open just in case you want to clarify anything. Okay? So let's start. The grievance mechanism process of the Department of Education. Next slide po. Points to remember. Okay, before we go to the substantive portion of the DepEd order, I want everyone to understand. Yes, go ahead po. Sa ating nag-click ng PowerPoint. Thank you. Okay, conflicts are inevitable. Totoo naman yan. We don't have a perfect workplace. Kahit po saan siguro kayo malagay na government agency or even private offices, there will always be conflict because we are human. We have a diverse personality, we have differences. Iba-iba tayo ng upbringing, iba-iba tayo ng values. What matters to you may not matter to me. What is simple for you is not simple for me. Therefore, pag kinonfine mo talaga tayo sa isang place and we will interact with each other, conflicts may arise. That is a fact. Okay, next po. As school managers or leaders, okay, I believe, hi po sa ating mga principal kanina, nakikita ko may mga nag-attendance sa ating mga school managers and leaders, sa ating mga SDO officials, mga unit heads, hi. Okay, so kayo po, especially sa division office, you are, lalo na yung mga unit heads, okay, malaki po yung responsibility natin over our school, okay, kung kayo naman po ay principal, assistant principal, head teacher, or even master teacher, di ba? O kahit mga non-teaching officers, okay, may mga kanya-kanyang role tayo as leaders, as managers, and of course, unang-una na rin dito ang ating SDS. Hi, Ma'am SDS, okay, at si Sir ASDS. Marami tayong hierarchy dito sa DepEd. Actually, when I was very new at DepEd, I don't have any idea, actually, to be blunt and to be candid about it. DepEd is my first government agency ever that I entered into. And I was overwhelmed about the structure, okay? Nevertheless, alam ko naman yan kasi lahat naman tayo may idea ng school system. Ang alam ko talaga, even if hindi ako taga-DepEd, pag principal, okay, ano yan, manager yan. Kaya nga tinawag na school head yan, okay? So tayo, okay, we are to resolve and look upon grievances, okay? Please, lalo na po kung may mga nakikinig dito na may bala kayong ma-promote, isa po sa mga tungkulin ninyo, pag naging manager kayo, master teacher, unit head, or kung ano man yung gusto nyong aspiration, part po ng inyong trabaho ang magre-resolve ng grievance. So, i-advance ko po. Marami po kasing nagsasabi, ano ba yan, hindi naman kasama sa krayan. Hindi po. Part of being a manager and a leader is that you will resolve conflicts. And that will always arise. Okay? Sometimes pa nga, the conflict is between you. Sometimes, ikaw pa ang subject ng conflict, okay? Lalo na kapag may resistance sa iyong mga leadership skills, okay? So, normal po yan, okay? Especially if you want to impose changes, especially if there are new things that you want to introduce and hindi sanay on that, okay, we adjust. And alam din naman natin as school head, paiba-iba rin tayo ng school once in a while. So, yung style mo, probably hindi style ng dating principal. So, ayan. Okay. So, yun yung mga possible manggagalingan ng conflict. Okay. And then, another one, running from a controversy or silence does not resolve anything. This is true. Pansin ko lang din sa DepEd, hindi naman tayo confrontational. True yan. Okay. That is a generic observation that I noticed inside DepEd. We're not really, most of the time, tahimik lang din talaga pag mga may issue or controversy. Actually, tahimik in a sense na hindi natin ina-address head-on yung problem. Pero actually, hindi ko masasabing tahimik kasi alam ko, kahit hindi natin ina-address dun sa taong may issue tayo, marami ring mga kwento-kwento. Okay? So, sometimes, yung mga kwento-kwento na yun, nadadagdagan, imbes na ito lang yung issue, mas lumaki na yung issue kasi nadagdagan na po. So, running from a controversy or silence does not solve anything. And actually, the silence that I am referring here is the silence of not going to the right person, going to the right process, okay? And you just want the grievance or the issue to just stay there, okay? So yun po yun. And then another one, maganda tong isa na to, you have to be brave. Sabi din dito, you have to be brave. Why? Kasi, it's a courageous thing. Ano po ng ating PowerPoint? Okay. It's a courageous thing to address your issues and concern. Marami po siguro dito sasabihin, ayoko mag-address ng concern kasi baka mamaya maging against me ito. No. Actually, ito pong pag-uusapan natin ngayon, I want it to be understood. Actually, hindi nyo kailangan mag-memorize. Probably pag na tapos yung discussion, sasabihin nyo, yun pala yun, bakit hindi namin ginagawa? Okay? Maraming realization po kayong makukuha dito sa topic na to. Okay? So we have to be brave in the sense na hindi naman tayo magre-retaliate. We will address the issue head on. No? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng be brave. And the next, decisions have to be done. Okay? Ito po ay paalala sa lahat. Once you become a manager, a leader, okay, and you're an immediate supervisor of anyone, you have to act on it. Okay? Nakapaloob din po yan sa maraming batas. Okay? The Anti-Red Tape Act. Kailangan may mga certain limitations yung decision, kung paano mag-decide, ano yung period. Okay? Ngayong pandemic, na-challenge yan. Okay? Maraming mga exceptions to the rule, but nevertheless, we always bank on the general rule rather than the exception. Kasi kung kaya naman natin gawin within the time frame, we do it. Okay? Decisions have to be done kasi dito nag-e-escalate yung mga injustice. If we, o kung wari, na-address na niya, hindi na siya naging silent, naging brave siya. However, hindi ka naman nag-desisyon. So, wala ring closure. Okay? Di ba uso yan ngayon, yung mga closure. Baka mamaya may mag-go-ghosting kayo. Tama ba? Baka maraming matawa. Baka i-ghosting nyo lang yung mga issue. Yung hindi nyo talaga siya i-head on, di ba? Okay. So, dapat po, mag-decide tayo. Kung merong issue at hand, you have to understand, it takes courage for some people and some employees within the division or within the school to even speak up. Ngayon, naging brave na sila, but you don't act on it. So, nakakahinayang, okay? And then, of course, last but not the least, ito talaga, applicable sa lahat. We cannot please everyone. Sana po alam na natin yan by now. Madaling sabihin, mahirap i-apply. Kasi we are a very social being. We want to be accepted. We want affirmation. But just to be honest, that this is really true. Whatever you do, laging may masasabi. We cannot please everyone. So what I'm driving at is, we do the right thing, okay, regardless of what will be the opinion of others. Basta we are banking on the right DepEd order, we follow the rules from the letter to the spirit of the rules, and I think we will not go wrong, okay? Kasi yung mapiplease natin lahat, napaka-imposible po. Lalo pa pag may conflict between one person and one person, okay? But maganda tong grievance. I hope that you will stay with me kasi mayroon tayong matututunan on this one, okay? Next. Okay, why conflicts must be resolved? Syempre, okay, there are part of all relationships between individuals who work together. Mas maganda mag-work kapag lahat ay magkasundo. In a perfect world, yes, mangyayari yan. But ako, ang masasabi ko lang, we must agree to disagree. Hindi ko po pwedeng sabihin na lahat isa lang ng opinion, lahat ganito lang, hindi naman siguro mangyayari yan. But we can work professionally, okay? Another thing, by better understanding the factors that contributes to conflict and their impact on each of the parties, we are in a better position to intervene earlier and put in place more effective intervention strategies. Okay, this lecture aims to capacitate everyone on how are we going to handle. More than the definition, more on dun sa mga technical terms na malalaman nyo ngayon, siguro po, magiging masaya po ako if matandaan nyo yung process. Na kapag nandyan yung issue, ano yung una kong gagawin? Kasi yun yung importante, yung procedure. Okay? Madali lang po i-memorize. What is grievance? What is ganyan? Pero yung process, yun po yung dapat nating maalala. Kasi tayo po, yung mga, kumbaga sa terminology right now, tayo ang frontliners pagdating sa conflict resolution. Kasi sa atin sasabihin. Okay? So I hope that you will stay with me in this lecture, and I hope that somehow maka-impart po ako ng knowledge in especially on the procedures. Okay, next. Grievance procedure, okay? In law school, okay, ito, mag-segue ako. In law school, alam to ni Attorney Jean, okay, and si Attorney Alice, alam din niya, kaya naglagay siya ng ganitong slide. We have an elective subject called the Alternative Dispute Resolution. It's a 3-unit subject actually. Marami akong natutunan dyan. Yan yung kapag lawyer ka, yan yung kabaliktaran nun. Kasi hindi siya arbitrary, hindi siya litigous. Okay, lahat ng mga issues dito sa arbitration and sa mediation and sa alternative dispute, actually based on law yan, based batas. So, papaano, hindi ko ila-lecture yung alternative dispute resolution kasi pang isang SEM yun, pero just to give you a background, the grievance procedure that we have here at DepEd is a mixture of a mediation and arbitration. It is a hybrid of that. Okay, i-explain ko further. Okay, parties are first encouraged to settle their issues together to arrive at a mutual solution. Yun yung mediation. So, parties yung magre-resolve. Okay? Hindi hindi tayo makikialam kung paano nila i-resolve. Sila mismo, sa kanila mismo manggagaling yung resolution. Okay, yun yung mediation. Pag nag-fail, eto na, the grievance handler decides to resolve the issue, which becomes arbitration. Okay, so kaya natin sinabi na it's a mixture of mediation and arbitration. It's a hybrid procedure, actually. To specify more, okay, next slide po. Specify more. This is the picture of a mediation. Sige po, pa-flash po sa screen. Okay. We have a disputant and then we have dalawang disputant, magkahiwalay sila ng issues, okay? We have a mediator po yung nasa gitna, and we have a decision, okay? Yan yung itsura. So ano ng mediation? Mediator is a person agreed to by the parties. So yung dalawang disputant, sila po ang namimili ng mediator. Okay, so hindi po yan katulad sa korte na magpa-file kayo ng complaint, hindi nyo alam kung kanino mapupuntang judge. No. Sa mediator, kilala ninyo yung mediation rather. Kilala ninyo yung mediator kasi pareho kayo ang pumili nun. Another one, it is an informal process. Sige po, pa-click po. It's an informal process controlled by the mediator. Okay, it's an informal process. Actually, hi po sa mga taga-SDO Pasay na nag-attend ng mediation core seminar. We have mediation unit sa ating mga division offices. Las Piñas will be launching soon, okay? So we are claiming that we will be launching soon, okay, with our cluster. Unfortunately, hindi po tayo magka-cluster. Ang ka-cluster ng Las Piñas is Parañaque and Muntinlupa. I think Pasay, ang ka-cluster yata is, I think, Makati, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, pero wag niyo po akong i-quote dyan. In short po, may mga clustering po sa NCR. Pag nakita niyo po yung list ng mediator, yan po yung mga nag-undergo ng 40 hours seminar and 40 hours OJT. Medyo madugo po yung naging training. Actually, I myself na kami po, mga lawyers, ay nag-undergo din ng training. At alam niyo po ba, hirap na hirap po ang mga lawyers sa mediation seminar. At sinabi rin naman ng aming nagle-lecture doon, pag lawyers nga daw hirap dyan sa mediation. Kasi ibang-iba yung concept dyan sa mediation, okay? Pag sanay po talaga na sa litigation, sa courts, medyo parang may konting struggle sa mediation. But marami po tayo, I believe, I'm not quite sure with SDO Pasay, but marami po tayong pinag-training. I believe meron din po kayong representative at makikita niyo po yung kanilang names sa list of mediators. So kung mari po mag-mediation, makikita niyo po at pwede pong mamili yung parties doon. It's an informal process, although may process pa rin. Okay, hindi naman po pwedeng bara-bara lang. Meron pa rin, nag-aral pa rin po yan, meron pa rin mga techniques. Okay, so yun po yun. Next, mediator is independent and impartial facilitator. Yes, as much as possible, syempre, ang mediator, kaya nga po nagkaroon tayo ng clustering dito sa NCR, para at least, kung wari, meron po kayong issue sa SDO Pasay and you don't feel yung mga pangalan ng mediator, wala kayong mapili. Dahil lahat may relationship or kakilala nyo or something like that, you can actually choose a mediator which is independent and unfamiliar to you. And you can choose that from another SDO na kakluster ninyo. So yun yung reason for that. Kaya maganda yan pag na-launch po yung ating mediation unit. Another one, parties fully participate in deciding issues, creating, evaluating, and agreeing options. Kanina yung sinabi ko po, kapag sa mediation, hindi yan katulad ng sa court na si judge ang i-convince ninyo, siya yung magde-decide. No, sa mediation po, mismong yung disputants ang magde-decide kung paano nila i-resolve ang kanilang concern. Yun ang kaibahan sa mediation. Okay, and then of course, next, focus is on the present and future, present and future and solving problem. Normally, informally, sa mediation, yung mga nakaraang issue, the strategy is do not talk about it. Ang isa sa mga strategy sa mediation is, okay, sige, ayan na yung facts. Ano po ang gusto niyong gawin ngayon? Paano po natin mariresolve ngayon para maayos tayo in the future? Hindi na masyadong nagdudwell sa facts ng yung nangyari. Okay? Ang talagang tinatanong agad head-on sa mediation is, so paano natin ito i-resolve? Yun ang focus ng mediation. Next, outcome aims for mutually accepted win-win solution. Okay, this is a very good one. the aim of a mediation is, of course, dahil nga pareho kayong parties nag-decide kung paano nyo i-resolve ang inyong concern, of course, may win-win solution kasi pareho kayong nag-agree doon. So, yun po ang mediation in a nutshell. I hope everybody understands. I-contradict ko to or i-compare ko with arbitration. I hope everybody's following. Okay, again, the reason we're discussing this, next slide po, is because I explained a while ago that grievance is a hybrid of mediation and arbitration. Kaya po natin dinidiscuss ng konti ito, okay? And of course, na-promote ko na rin ang mediation unit that we have on every SDO. Next slide po is the arbitration. Okay. Dito, ito naman ang itsura ng arbitration. O, tignan niyo po yung itsura. There's a complainant, there's a respondent, there's an arbitrator, and there's a decision. The flow chart is different. O, para sa mga nag-ISO, naiintindihan nila ako kung paano yung flow chart. Although parang apat din na apat na boxes, pero magkakaiba yung flow, di ba? Hindi pareho ng flow kanina. Let's go to the salient features. Okay, arbitrator is appointed by the parties. Okay, so ang arbitrator, para lang din medyo advance ang knowledge natin, sa mga contracts, okay, normally naglalagay ng arbitration clause. Dun sa arbitration clause, pumipili na agad yung parties kahit wala pang conflict at the first start. Kaya importante yung arbitration clause, especially sa mga certain industries, sinasabi ng batas, sa construction industry yan, automatic yan, may arbitration clause. Naka-appoint na agad dun yung parties. On the start, wala pang conflict, hindi pa nagsa-start yung project, nakalagay na mag-arbitration tayo. Pag nag-arbitration tayo, ito yung magre-resolve na natin. Okay, next, it is a formal process. Medyo formal ito. Actually, isa to sa mga magagandang branches ng law. Marami po mga lawyers nag-specialize sila on arbitration. Ang normal arbitration venue, especially pag mga malalaking projects, construction and all, normally pumipili ng venue na not even in the Philippines. Kung nga rin po malaking mga transaction, I think the seat of the arbitration venue is mga mutual country like Singapore, ganyan. So normally, medyo may pagka-international in nature ang arbitration. On a general scope po, pero papaliitin ko yan later sa DepEd procedure. So yun po yun. Meron din pong specialized rule ang arbitration, kaya not every lawyers can practice this. Maraming trainings din ang ginagawa sa arbitration. Hindi automatic na kapag lawyer ka is marunong ka sa arbitration. There is a specialized discipline. There are units that you have to take. Maraming accreditation. Okay? Hindi natatapos ang pag-aaral pagdating sa arbitration because this is a little bit international and depending on the clauses, depending on the nature of the contract, okay, yung arbitration. Pero, on a local context, medyo matatouch din natin yan, okay? It's more formal. Kung yung mediation informal, ito very formal ang arbitration. Next, parties input ideas and background. Okay, dito importante yung ano bang nangyari. Di ba yung mediation, hindi na importante kung ano nangyari. Paano na lang natin i-resolve? Ito importante kung ano yung background. And it is adversarial proceedings. Para siyang pareho ng courts. Kasi magpe-present ka ng kwento mo, magpe-present din yung kabila. And ang goal ninyo is ma-persuade ninyo yung arbitrator. Para rin yung arbitrator, para rin siyang judge. Okay, pero less formal than the courts. Okay, focus is on rights and past events, that's true. Decision which is based on evidence and technical, yes. Kaya nga para silang close to a judge. And then assessment is imposed on the parties by the arbitrator. Ito yung kaibahan. Sa mediation, both parties will propose the solution. Sa arbitration, it's the arbitrator who will say, okay, based on the facts and the evidence, ito ang gagawin natin to resolve your concern. At dahil kayo, yung parties na nagsabi na you will undergo arbitration, you have to respect the decision of the arbitrator. So medyo pareho siya ng sa courts, but a little more informal. But as compared to mediation, it is more formal than mediation. So I hope that is clear. Okay, meron na kayong konting unit sa ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. I hope that I made it simple. Okay, next, let's go to DepEd Order 35, Series 2004. This is what Ang dami kong segue, no? Pero ito na talaga yon. Gising pa po ba kayo? Mag-hi po kayo kung gising pa kayo, okay? I hope that you're still following. This is DepEd Order 35, Series 2004. Kung kayo ay nasa DepEd na ng 2004, baka matulog na lang kayo sa lecture na to kasi baka memorize nyo na, baka pang ilang beses nyo na to narinig. And actually, sa totoo lang, ang expectation din naming mga lawyers, since this is an old rule, edi memorize na. But actually, to be honest, nagulat din kami na, wala masyadong nakakaalam nito. Maybe it's about time na pasikatin natin ang grievance. Kasi po ito ay maganda. Ang medyo sikat po kasi sa atin yung DepEd Order 49, Series 2006. Itong Series 2004, nauna pa to kaysa sa Administrative Procedure. So, mas maganda pasikatin po natin ito. Pero, alamin natin kung kailan natin gagamitin. Okay? So, yan po yung DepEd Order. Just in case you want to download and read it again when you go home, this is the DepEd Order that you will search. Okay? Next slide. Important things to remember. Okay, important things to remember. Okay, tignan natin yung mga important things to remember, ha? Okay. Yes po. Paklik po. What is the legal basis on grievances? Okay, I mentioned already for DepEd. Paliitin po natin yung scope kasi kanina medyo malawak. Okay, as I explained, it's a hybrid of mediation and arbitration. So, the legal basis of the grievances inside DepEd is DepEd Order. Sige po, paklik po ng PowerPoint. DepEd Order 35, Series 2004. Number 2. What are grievances? Mamaya, i-enumerate ko po ang mga grounds. Alam niyo po, please po, sana maalala niyo, medyo madali lang to. Alam niyo po ba sa admin case, kwento ko lang, sa admin case, I think we have more than 49, if I'm not mistaken. Almost pa 50 na yung grounds sa admin case, yung mga disloyalty, misconduct, grave misconduct, violation of reasonable office rule. Sobrang dami. Kaya naman, mas maganda, memorize niyo po itong grievance grounds kasi konting-konti lang, wala pang 10. Okay? So, kung magpo-fall dito, baka administrative complaint yun. Okay? So, ang general keyword for grievances is kapag nagkaroon ng work-related discontentment or dissatisfaction. Again, I will repeat, work-related discontentment or dissatisfaction. Mahirap pag ang memorize nyo lang, discontentment or dissatisfaction. Okay? Kasi lagi tayong may discontentment and dissatisfaction. I think that is lalo na ngayong pandemic, marami din talaga tayong disappointment na hindi natin nagagawa yung normal things na we are used to. Okay, we are limited by right now. Okay, sa totoo lang, mas maganda to kung face-to-face tayo. Siguro mas maganda yung interaction, mas lively, okay, but we are limited to a lot of things because of the pandemic. So, probably, dun din nanggagaling yung discontentment natin. Pero, ang gini-grievance lang natin sa DepEd ay kailangan, unang-una ay work-related. Mamaya, mag-aano po tayo. This is not administrative complaint. Okay. I-elaborate ko po yan later. And then next, what is the coverage of the grievance procedure? Okay. Please po, pakitandaan ito. Employees only of DepEd. Alam niyo po, ang daming nagkakamali dito. Wag ko nang ibabanggitin kung kaninong division. Pero syempre, hindi division ng Pasay. Mag-example ba naman ako ng division ng Pasay? Syempre, hindi. Okay, wag na nating banggitin kung anong division. Nag-grievance sila, pero ang mga involved ay GPTA. Okay? Hindi naman empleyado ng DepEd. Mali! Wrong procedure. Okay, so again, the coverage of the grievance procedure must be within inside DepEd. This is internal. Internal procedure natin to. Tayong mga empleyado ng DepEd. Kung hindi empleyado, hindi. Hindi gini-grievance. Okay, clear po yan? How is it done? Number 4. How is it done? Okay, okay. Next na. Sige, it's okay. Let's go to the next slide. What are grievable issues? Ito na nga yung pinaka-importante. Siguro po, this one, kung meron po kayong ay pipicturean nyo siguro to. Pasensya na po if maliit. I don't know if they can do something to zoom it in. But I'll try to read. everything. I hope that you can see it on your screen though. Okay. Ilang grounds lang yan, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lang ang i-memorize. So, mas memorize niyo po ito kesa sa administrative process na maraming grounds. Kasi doon sobrang dami, unlimited ang pwedeng maging subject ng admin case. Dito, 6 lang. Okay, discuss natin briefly ha, isa-isa. Okay, ready na kayo? I wanna be conscious of my time. It's almost 2 o'clock. I think matatapos ko naman po lahat. Okay. Number 1, ang unang-unang grievable issue na sasakupin lang natin sa grievance is non-implementation of policies, practices, procedure on economic and financial issues, and other terms and conditions of employment. Okay, ano yung mga example niyan? May issue ka on your salary, incentives, working hours, yung mga working hours, isa yan sa grabing issue lately. Dapat, ano ba ang work arrangement ko sa office? Okay. Ano ba dapat ang paso ko? Hindi yan administrative complaint. It is a grievable issue that we can address at the lowest possible level. O yung salaries. O yung ang example naman dito sa salaries, hindi pa bumaba yung differential mo, pero lahat bumaba na, mga ganyan. Incentives. Isa sa mga incentives, loyalty pay. O, naka 10 years ako pero wala akong na-receive na loyalty pay. Hindi yan admin case. Grievable issue yan. Okay, so non-implementation of policies, practices involving economic and financial issues and terms and conditions of employment. Pag ganyan, grievable. Huwag magpa-file ng case kasi grievable yan. Okay, I hope that's clear. Next, non-implementation of policies and practices and procedures which affects employees from recruitment to promotion. Dito, ang keyword dito, bibigyan ko kayo ng keyword. Yung una, more on economic and financial issues. Yung pangalawa, ang keyword dyan, mga HR matters. Okay? Ang mga example dyan na lagi kong na-experience, issue sa promotion, issue sa transfer, sa termination, layoff, okay, mga ganyan. Bakit tinransfer si ganyan sa ganyong school? Okay, mali yun. Hindi siya, hindi sumunod sa process. Again, in the onset, do not file a case about this. This is grievable. Grievable to, okay? Grievable. Another thing, lagi ko ring na-encounter sa promotion, ranking. Okay, nako, ang dami-dami dyan. Kapag yan na ang issue, okay, automatic, nagpapadala na sa ombudsman, nagpapadala na sa kung saan-saan, nagpupunta pa ng central office dahil mali ang ranking. No, that is grievable issue. Believe me, dapat ito po yung ini-exhaust natin. Okay? Kung ganun lang ang mga issue. Actually, don't get me wrong, hindi ko sinasabing lang is simple lang. But ang point is, there is a process na we can exhaust rather than complaining. Administrative case. But again, I will clarify later. Siguro may magtatanong, attorney, meron pang mga ganyang issue na nagiging admin case? Yes, po pwede. But later sasagutin ko yan. Okay? So, yan muna tayo sa pangalawang issue. Okay? Third, inadequate physical working conditions. Ito dito nakikiusap ako sa aming mga teachers, okay? Kasi ang mga example dito, lack of proper ventilation in the workplace, ay talaga namang mainit talaga, di ba? Lalo pa ngayon, na-imagine ko na iba yung school year natin. So, tatamaan ng summer yung, I think third grading or fourth grading yata ng mga bata, if I'm not mistaken. Hindi naman tayo sanay na nagkaklase tayo ng ganong kainit, especially kung nasa bahay. So I think maraming magrereklamo on the physical working condition. But again, those are not admin cases. Those are grievable issues. Okay? But again, we have to appeal to everybody. Alam naman po natin ang katayuan ng DepEd. Kung sa totoo lang, ako honestly, I'm speaking not only as a lawyer, but concerned citizen. Sino ba naman ang ayaw na lahat sana ng ating mga school ay aircon, nasa perfect condition, hindi dilapidated ang mga school building. We all want that in a perfect situation. But we also know how the pandemic, sasabihin nyo, ay, attorney, kahit wala pang pandemic, ganun na. Okay, yes, sige, I will agree to that. But again, we know that we are already 60% ng budget ng gobyerno na pupunta na sa DepEd, sa education. So, we know that probably the budget is really not sufficient, okay? Kasi if we are getting 60% of the budget already, then how come we don't have the best schools and the best buildings, okay? But I think with the help of LGU, of course, may mga brigada rin tayo, okay? Our stakeholders or all of the businesses and mga gustong tumulong sa DepEd, napakadami. Okay, so marami po tayong mga mai-improve pa. Ito, pag dinidiscuss ko po kasi to sa school, laging nagsabi, napakadami naming grievance on that, inadequate physical working conditions, okay? Pero ang maganda example po niyan is, na-experience namin, si teacher ay may sakit sa puso, pero inilagay siya na principal sa 6th floor, na wala namang elevator, o paano yun? Inadequate physical working conditions, I think, grievable, wag naman. Pag-usapan natin, baka naman mayroon pang solusyon para mailagay siya sa yung hindi hazardous sa kanya. Okay? So, mga ganyan. Grievable yan. Huwag agad mag-admin case. Okay? Number 4, poor interpersonal relationships and linkages. Ang dami-dami din dyan. Okay? Ayaw mo sa katrabaho mo, hindi mo siya feel. Okay? For some reason, may issue kayo. Yan. Poor interpersonal. But I have to make a qualification. Sa isang SDO, sa isang school, hindi naman lahat talaga gusto mo, okay? Pero make sure lang na yung poor interpersonal relationship will always be work-related. Work-related, okay? Baka naman i-grievance natin yung mga ayaw mo lang sa kanya kasi inagawan ka niya ng boyfriend. O, di ba? Ano pa ba mga issue? Ayaw mo lang sa kanya kasi parang may sikat siya sa'yo, okay? Hindi. Kailangan work-related pa rin. Kapag yung mga ganyan na personal na hindi naman work-related, baka sa barangay kayo dapat. Baka hindi sa DepEd, okay? Kailangan may relasyon pa rin sa trabaho, ha? Work-related dapat, okay? Another one is protest on appointments. Ayan, parang pareho din yan sa mga HR concerns. Pag appointments, actually may another process dyan on civil service protest, okay? So meron dyan 15 days upon issuance of the appointment by the appointing authority to protest, okay? Pwede nating ipa-review sa civil service kung tama ba ang appointment. Kung mag-decision ng civil service in your favor, then what you call this, hindi mako-confirm ang appointment, mare-revoke ang appointment. Okay, so may process dyan. But hindi onset, pwede yan grievance. Okay? And ito yung medyo catch-all provision. All other matters giving rise to employee dissatisfaction and discontent. Yun nga Kaya ang total generic ground dyan, kailangan work-related na nagkukos ng dissatisfaction and discontent. At believe me, sobrang daming mag-fall dyan. Okay? So, the other time lang, syempre, alam niyo na sa SDO Las Piñas ito, the other time lang, we resolve a grievance ng isang school na hindi naman umabot ng division, pero of course, technical assistance ako sa kanila kasi first time din nila mag-handle nun. Parang ang issue nila is, yung isang teacher, lagi siyang pasigaw, feeling ng isang teacher, lagi siyang pinag-iinitan, pinaparinggan, ayaw lang din sa kanya, tapos sinabihan siya na, alam mo, ang pangit mo magturo. Alam mo, hindi ko gusto yung style mo. Mga ganyan. Ano niya yun? Parang coordinator. So, ayan, nag-grievance sila. And you know what? Nakakatuwa. Kasi at the end of the grievance, nagkasundo po sila. And ngayon po, maganda na po ang takbo ng kanilang relationship. Nagkaintindihan na sila on that one. So, see? Maganda rin po yung grievance. Marami po nang tayong matututunan dyan and mariresolve. Okay? I hope that's clear. Later on po, magtanong kayo kung meron kayong tanong. So, those are the grounds. Sana po ma-memorize ninyo. Ang unang grounds po is non-implementation sa mga financial issues, non-implementation sa mga recruitment, HR matters, inadequate physical working condition, poor interpersonal relationship and linkages na kailangan, work-related, protest on appointments, and all other matters na mayroong discontent and dissatisfaction. Madali lang i-memorize, kahit nakapikit. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Ito na. So, ayan, na-discuss ko na yung mga pwedeng i-grievance. Ngayon, ano ang proseso? Okay? I will highlight until the division office po, Pero makikita nyo rin po sa slide yung hanggang central office. Okay? Pero I will highlight dun sa pinaka-lowest level possible until maka-reach sa division office. And then I will just flash na lang for the regional and the central office kasi more on para sa kanila yan. Okay, so the grievance procedure, okay, by the way, one more important thing na napapansin ko din sa pag-handle ng grievance is, kailangan ba ang grievance is in writing? The answer, of course, is no. Ang sabi ng ating process, it is informal. Kapag po nag-express ng dissatisfaction or discontent, kahit oral, kahit verbal, we will put action on that one. We will take action on that one rather. Okay? We will act on it. Hindi kinakailangang i-require nyo sila na, oh, put that in writing. Kung gusto mong masolusyonan, no. That's not what the grievance procedure is saying. Okay? So, I hope that's clear. Okay, so the grievance procedure, okay, it starts with a discussion with immediate supervisor. So, ikaw, okay, let's go to this, paki-click po, ayan, okay. Huwag niyo po akong sisihin sa mga, graphics, si Attorney Aris po yan, okay. Wait lang, balik tayo doon, okay. Sabi ko nga kanina, the grievance issue can be written or verbal complaint. Okay, ayan, nakita niyo po yung picture, di ba? Meron kang grievance, dissatisfied ka. So, pwede mo yung i-address sa iyong immediate supervisor, either written or verbal. Again, mali kapag sinasabi nyo na kailangan written lang. Even verbal complaint or grievable issue, you put action and you take action on that rather. Okay? And then, of course, what will the immediate supervisor do? The immediate supervisor, kayo yon, okay, baka meron po dito sa mga nakikinig na kayo yon, will determine if the issue is grievance or not. Kaya talaga, dapat alam nyo to. So ngayon, paano nyo ma-determine if it's grievable or not? O di babalik kayo dun sa what are grievable issues? What are the grounds? Taga-DepEd ba yung may mga issues? Kasi kapag yung grievance mo about sa GPTA president, hindi siya grievable. Hindi na agad mag-fall doon kasi kailangan interagency yun. Kailangan empleyado ng DepEd. So I hope that's clear. Marami dyan nagkakamali. GPTA nagpapag-grievance pa. May minutes pa sila. Wrong process. Okay? So anyway, determine if the issue is grievable or not, or grievance. And then, of course, discussion with the parties involved. Okay? Very simple. Nag-express, i-determine mo, grievable ba or hindi? Okay, so mag-discuss tayo. Okay? Yun lang sinasabi ng unang process. Madali lang, di ba? Okay, next. Next po. In the oral discussion, the following shall be observed. Okay, please take note po. The employee or aggrieved party shall be put at ease. Okay, yan. Actually, even without the DepEd order saying that, it is logical, di ba? Okay, so kapag masyado pang mainit yung aggrieved party, okay, palamigin mo muna ang ulo. Kasi actually, wala talagang mangyayari kapag mainit ang ulo. Okay, isa yan sa mga natutunan namin sa mediation, okay? Walang mangyayari kapag ang unang instance is galit ka agad. Okay, so dapat po bilang grievance handler, alam po natin na papakalmahin natin yung nagre-reklamo or may grievance, okay? Baka naman po, pag nagreklamo sa inyo, ay galit din kayo. Okay? Hindi po ganun. Kasi lalo lang din hindi mariresolve. Okay? Sabi dito, every effort shall be exerted to make the employee who has grievance feel at ease during the oral discussion. Okay? Sana po ay gawin natin yan. Ang tip ko po, kung mag-handle kayo ng grievance, huwag po kayong mag-handle ng grievance kung kayo ay mataas din ang BP ninyo, kung kayo ay stress din, okay, siguro po ipagpaliban natin kasi baka mamaya instead na ma-resolve natin ang grievance ay hindi natin ma-resolve, okay, baka magkasigawan tayo lalo. So, yun po ang kailangan dyan. And then, the employee aggrieved party shall be encouraged to talk. The employee shall be allowed to tell or explain his or her side during the oral discussion, okay? Again, give them opportunity to be heard. Alam nyo, bilang legal officer, hindi ako nag-e-exage. Minsan may pupunta po sa office, magkukwento siya ng 1 hour, minsan 3 hours, tapos alam niyo, wala pa rin po kami sa issue. Ang dami ko na pong nalaman. Nalaman ko na yung buhay niya, nalaman ko na yung ganun siya. Okay, pero you have to be patient. Okay, alam po yan ng aking mga SDS. na talagang kapag ako ay nagre-resolve, talagang I really take time to listen. Okay? Alam ko marami rin tayong ginagawa. Sasabihin nyo minsan, oh, bilisan mo na, bilisan mo na. Ano talaga yung problema mo? Minsan ang sarap din magsabi ng ganyan. Pero you know what? You have to be patient. Allow nyo po yung opportunity na mai-release niya kung ano talaga ano. Pero siguro po, this is a skill eh. Along the way, i-facilitate nyo po para pumunta dun sa totoong issue. Okay? Kasi naiintindihan ko po, minsan parang they will take your time, okay? Tapos ang issue lang pala niya nandun pa sa kung 3 oras kayo nag-usap, ang issue niya nandun lang sa pangatlong oras. Yung first 2 hours, wala dong issue. Ano lang yun? Parang nagbe-vent lang siya. Okay? So, along the way, you will enhance your skill para maidiretso po ng tao yung kanyang issue. Okay? Kaya naiintindihan ko minsan na gusto nyo nakasulat na lang. Pero alam nyo, meron ding nagsusulat. Like ako, meron ako ng isang araw, 20 pages. Pero yung first page to 19 pages, wala lang, puro kwento lang. Ang issue talaga, nandun ba sa ika-28 pages. So imagine nyo, kailangan kong basahin lahat yun. Pero yeah, this is part of our work. Okay, to resolve. Okay, so I hope let's be patient on this one. Okay, next. Next po, we have to make sure that there is privacy in discussion. Lahat naman po, okay. Sana meron pong private or quiet or secluded spot na hindi mai-interrupt or ma-overheard ng kung sino man. This is with respect to confidentiality. Ang hirap din po kasi nauulitin mo lagi yung sarili mo kasi hindi pala laging may nag-i-interrupt. So, pag mag-handle po kayo ng grievance, make sure that it is secluded, you'd really take time para matapos po. Hindi yung maraming interruption. And alam ko, ang hirap niyan ngayon. Okay, ang hirap-hirap nito ngayon actually. Kasi, minsan may ginagawa tayo, minsan nga, baka nanonood kayo nito, pero sa totoo lang, nagtatrabaho kayo ng iba. Tama? O sino po yung mga dyan, nakaka-relate? Nanonood kayo sa akin, pero half lang ang atensyon kasi may ginagawa pang iba. Okay, naintindihan natin yan kasi ang DepEd talaga ay very good in multitasking. Pero kapag mag-grievance po, we suggest that you take time, you focus, para po matapos natin yung grievance. Otherwise, matatagalan tayong i-resolve. Baka abutin kayo ng ilang sessions. Okay, next, the case shall be fully heard. Okay, ito pa rin, okay. I'll just drive my point. Di ko na masyadong i-stress yan. It is self-explanatory. The supervisor shall seek to keep his reviews and opinions. Okay, again, kaya nga po mas sila yung magsasalita. Again, you are not a judge, you are not an arbitrator. Okay, medyo in the dito medyo in kayo, parang mediation, medyo mediator ang yung character nyo. Bayaan nyo, yung mga opinion ninyo, hindi nagmamatter. Okay? I-reserve nyo yan during the discussion. Bayaan nyo muna silang magsalita. Okay? I hope that's clear. Next process. Okay, so natapos na tayo sa immediate supervisor. Discussion with the parties involved. Ayan, sabi ko nga kanina, magkakaroon ng informal mediation. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng informal mediation? Informal mediation, ibig sabihin yan, parties will now think. Di ba? Pinag-discuss nyo sila. Actually, sa totoo lang sa atin lang to. Itong grievance, sila talaga pinagtatrabaho nyo. Kayo lang ang nagpa-facilitate. Bakit? Sasabihin nyo sa kanila, anong issue mo? So, magkakwento sila. O yung isa, anong issue mo? O then, tapos bandang dulo, akala nyo ba kayo ang magbibigay ng solution? No, sila din. Sasabihin nyo sa kanila, so anong gusto mong solusyon? Anong suggestion mo? So in short, sila din talaga ang nagtatrabaho sa grievance. Sila rin ang nag-iisip kung paano sila makaka-find ng solutions. Kaya siya tinawag na informal mediation. Parties are allowed to agree on a solution. If parties agree, the supervisor shall make a decision based on the agreement. Okay. So, importante din dito, ang ating mga supervisor ay maalam sa proseso. Okay. At dapat alam nyo din kung ano yung pwede nilang pag-agrihan. Baka naman ang pinag-aagrihan nila ay invalid. Meaning, walang basis sa ating DepEd order. Hindi rin tama yun. Okay? So, I hope that's clear. Kaya sinawag siya na it's gonna be an informal mediation. And then another one, informal arbitration. Supervisor hears both of the parties in a conference and thereafter makes a lawful decision on his own kapag hindi nag-agree yung party. Okay, kapag nag-agree yung party, informal mediation. Kapag hindi nag-agree yung party, nagiging informal arbitration. Kasi hindi pwedeng wala. Okay, so magdi-decision ngayon yung supervisor within 3 days from the presentation of the grievance. mabilis. Okay? Ang admin case po, inabot ng taon. Okay? Totoo yan. As much as we don't want to, marami po kasing nag-a-arise na mga sitwasyon, katulad ngayong pandemic, natigil po ang maraming hearing, although may virtual hearing po tayo, pero hindi po ganun kadali. Okay? Meron pong mga ibang complainant, hindi nila kaya yung virtual hearing at medyo may challenge. Okay? Pero sa grievance, pwede, 3 days. Okay? So I hope that you will explore this, especially on the grounds that I mentioned. Next. Okay, it's already 12:12. I want to be mindful of the time. I believe I will finish this, okay? Where the object of the grievance is the immediate supervisor. Paano, attorney, kung yung nag-grievance sa akin, siya ngayon may grievance ako? O di natural. The answer is, the aggrieved party may bring the grievance to the next higher supervisor. Kasi I don't think it will make sense. Sa kanya ka may grievance, pero sa kanya ka magpapag-grievance, o diba? Hindi, it doesn't make sense. So, ang sabi naman sa procedure, resolution on the lowest possible. Okay. So, ibig sabihin kung ang i-grievance mo is yung supervisor mo, hindi siya yung lowest possible level. Go to the next one. Okay. So, that's just logical. Next. Yes. Okay. Tapos na tayo sa first process. I hope naintindihan niyo po. Okay. Ngayon, nagdesisyon yung immediate supervisor mo, hindi ka pa rin satisfied. Ayan, nakalagay unsatisfied ka pa rin based sa picture. Meron ka bang pwedeng gawin? Meron. Sabi dito, file an appeal to the higher supervisor within 5 days. Di ba, nagdesisyon siya after 3 days. Ngayon, natanggap mo yung decision niya, sinabi niya yung decision niya. Again, the decision need not be in writing. Pwedeng sabihin lang sa'yo ng supervisor mo, ito ang gagawin natin sa issue mo. Okay, yun na yun. So, mag-isip ka within 5 days. Satisfied ba ako sa decision? Hindi ako satisfied eh. So, mag-aapila ako. Okay, so, go to the next higher supervisor. The higher supervisor may schedule a conference. Again, the word is may schedule. Okay? Yan na naman yung minsan masyadong technical. Yung higher supervisor ko, nag-apila ako sa kanya, pero hindi naman siya nag-schedule ng conference. Again, the wordings of the procedure is may schedule. Okay, so ibig sabihin optional. Pero kung wari, based naman sa pagkakaalam niya at pagkakasabi mo ng grievance mo, ay hindi na niya kailangan mag-schedule ng conference o pwedeng hindi na. Pero normally, okay, for procedural, mas maganda rin po siguro na makita nyo on your demeanor, on your own, and your own personal knowledge kung ano yung mga issues nila. So, I will suggest, this is just a suggestion, if you are the next higher supervisor, mag-schedule kayo kahit isang conference naman, okay? Schedule naman po kayo, okay? So, but again, the procedure is clear. May schedule. It's an optional. Hindi sinabing shall schedule. Okay, so anyway, higher supervisor decides within 5 days from the receipt of the appeal. So the higher supervisor, upon giving you a chance to explain again, at para malaman na naman kung ano yung issue, pwede siyang mag-decide within 5 days from the receipt of the appeal. Very fast. Okay, very fast. Okay? Next. Okay, so dalawang level na yung pinag-anuhan ng grievance mo. Nag-decide ngayon si higher supervisor, pero hindi ka pa rin satisfied. Okay, wala pa rin. Hindi, ayoko pa rin. Hindi pa rin maganda yung solusyon. Okay, you will file an appeal to the Grievance Committee. This is always the case. Okay, I will be honest. So, umpisa pa lang ng grievance, ang ginagawa po ng iba, automatic, constitute a Grievance Committee. That is wrong. Okay. Maraming nagkakamali dito. Ang unang-unang ginagawa sa school, ang unang-unang ginagawa lagi, may grievance si ganyan, mag-grievance committee na. Wrong. Dalawa nga yung step muna bago mag-grievance committee. So ito na ha, dito na papasok. Baka yung mga ibang school, ito yung alam ninyo. So mabilis na lang to kasi lagi na kayong nag-grievance committee sa school. The unsatisfied party will file an appeal to the grievance committee within 5 days. And that's the time that the grievance committee will conduct an investigation within 10 days. So again, to all our supervisors, to all our unit heads, and to our SDO officials, let's always remember this. The Grievance Committee is not the first step. They are the third step. Okay, I hope that's clear. Okay, and then Grievance Committee issues a decision within 5 days after the investigation. Another thing that you must understand, if you are part of the Grievance Committee, you have to put your decision in writing. Okay, so again, anong pinagkaiba niyan? Yung dalawa, yung immediate supervisor and higher supervisor, not required to put their decision in writing. Kailangan mo lang ipaalam yung decision mo within 5 days. But when it comes to grievance committee, you have to put your decision in writing. I hope that's clear. Okay, next. Grievance Committee, I have to discuss briefly what is Grievance Committee. Grievance Committee, only permanent officials and employees shall be appointed or elected as members of the Grievance Committee. Of course, okay. And then in the appointment or election of the committee members, there must be integrity, probity, sincerity, and credibility. Para kayong pang-judiciary. Ganyan-ganyan ang requirement. Kailangan may integridad. Kailangan sincere at may credibilidad. Okay, yan is subject to proof and evidence. Okay, and syempre, rin yun, sa inyong overall demeanor. But alam ko naman, as public officers, we're supposed to have this. This is supposed to be our quality. Okay, this should be inherent to every one of us. Otherwise, wala po tayong karapatang magstay sa government if we don't have integrity, probity, sincerity, and credibility. That is on an ideal world, and that is based on the standard, actually. But I hope every day we strive. Okay, wala naman pong perfect, but every day we strive to be a model employee na talagang masasabi natin na can emulate the government. Okay, yan naman po ay ating araw-araw na ipinagdadasal na hindi tayo magkakamali sa ating mga aksyon bilang public servant kasi maraming pong consequences. Okay, so anyway, officials who refuse to take action. Okay, I was given an instruction to highlight this. Officials who refuse to take action on a grievance brought to their attention shall be liable or neglect of duty. Ang neglect of duty po is administrative case. Ang i-apply niya rule is Deped Order 49, Series 2006, in accordance with the Civil Service Laws and Rules and Regulation, and of course, our Deped Order on administrative cases. So again, grievance na nga lang yan, nagkakaso ka pa kasi hindi ka marunong mag-handle. So everybody should always be mindful, cautious. You have to handle this well. Okay, this kasi you can have liability on this one. Okay, I hope that's clear. I will not stress that further. Okay, next. Composition of the Grievance Committee. I will flash this. This is a reading matter. I hope that you can just take a mental note, mental picture of the committee members. Okay, kung kayo po ay taga-school, yan po ang mga members. Principal or head teacher, the president of the faculty club, okay, lagi yan. Kaya ang mga faculty club talagang president ay very busy. And then ito yung pangatlo, a teacher who is acceptable to both the aggrieved parties and the one kung kanino siya may grievance. Yun pong pangatlo is appointed by the principal or the head teacher. Okay? District grievance, ito po sa district, paki-check po ang mga composition. Ayan, no, district supervisor, okay, principal, kung nasaan nandun yung grievance, okay, president of the District Teachers Association. I'm not quite sure the structure for Pasay, okay, for district, okay, but ito po yung next, okay? Okay, let's proceed po to the next slide. That's just a reading matter anyway. School Division Grievance Committee, hi, SDO Pasay, okay. Paki-check po ang ating mga committee members. Okay, ang number 1 ay si Ma'am SDS. Hi, Ma'am. SDS or his or her designated representative. Pwede niya pong i-delegate. Okay, pwede niya bang i-delegate kay SDS? Pwede. Okay, so pwede yan. Basta i-delegate ng SDS. Okay, but pwede rin si SDS ang mag-handle ng grievance. Okay. Another one, district supervisor, chair, coordinator of the district where the grievance originated, and president of the schools division teachers association. I'm not quite sure kung ano pong tawag sa association here sa Pasay, pero yung president niya po. Ayan. Okay. Yan po yung sa SDO level. Tapos, ito po yung regional level. Basahin nyo na lang po. Huwag na natin masyadong i-discuss yan kasi sa region naman yan. Pero just in case, for information purposes, ayan po, okay, yung sa Regional Grievance Committee. And then, hindi pa natatapos dyan. Next slide. Next slide. The Department Grievance Committee, ano yan? Sa Central Office, okay. Alam niyo po ba na ang grievance na ganyan ay pwedeng i-apila school, then after ng school, pwedeng sa SDO, then pwedeng sa region, at pwedeng sa central office. Okay. Pero actually po, ipag ito-total nyo yung number of days, mas mabilis. Okay, mas mabilis. Okay, so, pero kung talagang yung grievance nyo hindi ma-resolve on those level, pwede kayo hanggang sa central office. Ito yung composition naman po for central office. Okay, so those are reading matter. Again, I made emphasis on the school level and SDO level. Please take note of the committee members, okay, para po guided tayo. Okay, letter D. Next po, next slide. Appeal to the Office of the Secretary. Okay, kasi 'di ba yung last is ang last is members ng Department Grievance Committee. And then syempre, the last is kung hindi pa rin talaga mula school no hanggang umabot na tayo ng central office. Kung hindi pa rin talaga, ayan, we can file to the Grievance Committee within 5 days. After po noon, unsatisfied pa rin kayo, you file an appeal to the Office of the Secretary. Okay, and the Secretary will take action on the grievance. Okay? Attorney, may alam po ba kayong umabot na sa Secretary? Personal knowledge, wala. Pero malay po natin, di ba? Hindi natin masabi. Baka it only boils down to a certain issue para umabot ng central office, and we will be happy to exhaust the process until the office of the secretary. It is encouraged, okay? Kasi these are internal dissatisfaction and discontent. So, we encourage everyone, baka magkakaroon tayo ng case, okay? On a personal knowledge, wala po akong alam. I may be wrong, but it is nice to exhaust the procedure until the appeal to the office of the secretary. Okay? Siguro po talagang naghahanap lang ng right opportunity at right issue yung mga ganito. Kasi, to be honest, on the lowest possible level, nare-resolve po kasi siya kaya hindi umaabot ng ganyan. But let's see. Okay? Hindi natin masasabi. Baka magkaroon po. Okay? It's not that I'm saying na gusto kong magkaroon, but the point is, it's also good to check and exhaust the procedure. Okay? So what we're saying is, kaya pa yan hanggang Office of the Secretary. Pagtapos po, attorney ng Office of Secretary, wala na ba? Hindi pa rin ako satisfied kay Secretary Briones. Ayoko pa rin. Okay. Di meron pa. Okay, mag-alala. Next po, next slide is appeal to the Civil Service Commission. After ng Office of the Secretary, within 15 working days from the receipt of the decision, you can appeal to the Civil Service Commission. Okay, that's the last. Okay, so again, to summarize, I hope that you, medyo madali lang to okay? Aggrieved party will go to the immediate supervisor, 3 days to decide, appeal within 5 days, then go to the next higher supervisor, 5 days to decide, appeal within 5 days, okay? Remember the period po and then go to the Grievance Committee, 5 days to decide, appeal within 5 days, then go to the next higher grievance committee. It can be the region or the SDO. Kasi minsan may mga iba naman na nag-originate sa region or SDO, di ba? Kasi sila rin may ganito So next, appeal to the higher grievance committee. And then of course, finally, the Office of the Secretary, 5 days to decide. Appeal within 15 days kapag ayaw pa rin. Okay, ang pinakamahabang appeal period is 15 days pagdating sa Civil Service Commission. And that is the final action for the grievance. Medyo mahaba yung sa sa Civil Service Commission kasi outside na po yan ng DepEd Kaya medyo 15 days to to appeal. Okay. So take note of that period. 5 days lagi to appeal. Okay. Ang pinaka mabilis lang period to decide is the immediate supervisor, 3 days to decide on the grievance. This is the summarized procedure. I hope that you can have a mental picture of the flow chart on how. Again, the misconception is that may grievance ako. Okay, constitute grievance committee. That is wrong. Okay, sana po, after nitong lecture na to is ma-reconstruct natin on how it's gonna happen, on how the flow is. Okay, so I hope that I was able to clarify that. Okay, next slide. I'm almost done. I'm wrapping up my lecture. Decision of the Grievance Committee. The decision shall be in writing and shall contain all relevant facts and circumstances as well as the law or rule that was applied. Again, I reiterated that a while ago. Sabi ko, immediate supervisor and hard in writing. Pero pag napunta na sa division committee, grievance committee, any grievance committee for that matter, the procedure requires that it should be in writing. Kailangan may facts, circumstances, at kung ano yung issue, yung law and rule na i-apply. Bakit nag-come up yung grievance committee ng ganong decision? Importante yan, especially on appeal. kasi yung mga records niyan ay sinasali para ma-review yung decision on appeal. I hope that is very clear. Okay, so again, pagdating sa immediate supervisor and higher supervisor, hindi required in writing, but you have to act on it. Okay, next. Responsibilities of the Grievance Committee. Okay, for the Grievance Committee, hi po. Okay, kung kayo ay isa sa mga nabanggit, okay, at familiar, okay, at everyone can be susceptible to this naman, okay, and even if kung wari kayo naman ay may grievance, o dapat alam nyo rin ito, ano ang responsibility ng ating Grievance Committee, yung kaninang mga nakasulat na mga posisyon, okay, you can establish your own procedure and strategies. Kasi nga po, ang grievance is informal. Okay? Hindi yan katulad ng DepEd Order 49 na kailangan mag-pre-hearing. Kailangan may pre-hearing order. Kailangan mayroong stipulation of facts. Kailangan magpe-present na evidence. Hindi yun. This is very informal. So you can have your own strategy and procedure. But always, make sure that it is clear to all parties kung anong procedure and strategies na i-adapt ninyo. Okay, another one, you will develop and implement a proactive measures or activities to prevent grievance. This one is a preventive naman, okay? Maganda rin po, maganda sa mga, with SDO Las Mias, we have kamustahan, talakayan, okay? I think sa mga school, may mga lock sessions, o baka naman po may mga iba na pwede nating i-discuss ito, kung merong mga grievance ng ating mga teachers, ng ating mga diba? Marami po. Sana po maging proactive tayo sa pagpapalaganap ng grievance. I want to commend SDO Pasay. Of course, our SDO Legal Officer Attorney Jean. Kasi talaga po, isa to sa ipopromote talaga. And of course, SDO Pasay is very much sa kanilang mandate na talagang pasikatin ang Grievance Committee. Kasi kami po, mga NCR lawyers, we actually made a commitment that we will promote this, grievance and mediation. So, ayan po. Yan po yung maganda dyan, proactive. Next. Next po. Conduct regular and continuing information drive. Okay, this is of course to avoid confusion on the rules. Baka po kasi sa sobrang dami nating iniisip, na totoo naman din. Okay, by the way, I want to take this opportunity to commend all of our non-teaching employees. Talaga naman po for the longest time talagang frontliners ang ating mga non-teaching employees. I want to say also na talagang all our efforts sa pagpasok, lalo na po yung finance, no? Kahit nung time ng ECQ, pandemic, talagang yan ang mga frontliners natin. Talagang we appreciate them, okay, all of what you're doing to make sure that hindi matigil yung mga ating services. And talagang I can see na isa tayo sa talagang dapat deserve ang mga performance bonus and incentives because of not only for that, the services that we rendered for our teachers and for our students, okay, very much ramdam na ramdam. So, nakakatuwa po talaga to be part of DepEd, non-teaching employee for that matter. Okay? So, dahil din po sa dami ng ginagawa natin, baka ma-confuse natin yung mga rules. So, iba ang admin case, iba ang grievance. Okay? So sana po ay hopefully, and meron din tayong rules on mediation. I hope that we will have time to cascade that. Okay, I think very soon by the legal officer. And then of course, conduct dialogue between and among parties involved. Okay, we always promote that. Next. I'm almost done. Okay, I think I will finish. Actually, it's already time, but give me a couple of minutes na lang po to wrap up. Direct the documentation of the grievance, including preparation and signing of written agreements reached by the parties. Okay, so ito rin po laging nakakalimutan. O nag-agree na sila, pero masaya na lahat, nagyakapan na, okay na. Okay, wag niyo pong kalimutan, pag grievance committee kayo, i-prepare niyo pa rin po yung in writing, pasaynan niyo na talagang okay na sila. Baka po kasi masyado nung masaya, wala nang ganun. Okay, dapat po i-document pa rin. Okay, so wag po natin makakalimutan yan. And of course, we have to issue a final certification on the final action on the grievance. It will contain, among other things, the history and final action taken by the agency on the grievance. Okay, please take note of this. Final action on the grievance. Kailangan po may ganitong document para po matapos yung issue. Okay, on that one. And of course, ito, maraming guilty dito. Okay, I have to admit, we have to submit a quarterly report on the accomplishment and status of unresolved grievance to the Civil Service Commission. We were surprised. Sumulat ang Civil Service sa DepEd naghihingi ng mga report na ganyan. Pero totoo po, nakalagay sa rules na we should submit a quarterly report. In the case ng last time, nanghingi lang sila ng yearly report. Pero yes, we have to have that file. Kaya kailangan pag umabot ng division Grievance Committee, maganda po yung filing and meron mga documentations because we are supposed to document that. Okay? Pero dito naman, ang i-report lang is yung mga unresolved grievances. Pag resolve, no need. Okay, again, unresolved grievances. Yun lang po ang inire-report. Okay? So, lastly, okay, second to the last, officials who refuse to take action on grievances brought to their attention, paulit-ulit, shall be held liable for neglect of duty. This is DepEd Order 49. Nasabi ko kanina, I will reiterate. Siguro si Atty. Aris talagang gusto niya rin talagang i-reiterate to for emphasis. Okay, pwede pong magkaroon ng admin case, neglect of duty, ha? So, let's make sure na ma-actionan po natin yung mga grievance. Okay, kasi baka mamaya tayo lang yung dapat magre-resolve ng grievance, tayo na yung nagkakaso. Very unfair naman po. So, ang gawin po natin, alamin natin yung proseso, sundin natin yung proseso, para po hindi lang din tayo makatulong sa peace and harmony sa ating workplace, para din po maiwasan din po ang mga kaso. Because I believe yung mga nagiging admin case po ay minsan hindi naman talaga admin case. Minsan it's grievance. Kaso wala po kasing nag-handle eh. Alam niyo po kasi, ang isang grievance issue, pwede rin pong ma-convert yan sa admin case. Pero don't get me wrong, okay? Ang grievance ay grievance. Hindi dapat ina-handle yan ng DepEd Order 49. Pero pag pinasukan na kasi ng bad faith, malice, na parang hindi eh, parang unfair eh, may bad faith, may malice, yun na yung mga elements na mako-convert siya into admin case. So, yun po yung iiwasan natin. Okay, so anyway, that's all for my lecture for today. I hope that I was able to impart important knowledge about the grievance procedure. I hope that if it's not clear, you can ask questions to me or whatever. So, thank you so much for listening. Thank you po.
Thank you, Attorney Rujen, for explaining to us the brief definition, the brief process on the grievance machinery po. So sabi nga po nila, pag narinig ko, may issue ako, may reklamo sa akin, gusto kong may makausap ako. Common lines po yan eh, na nararanasan po natin. So ngayon pa lang po, be brave, act on it. So with the help of Attorney Rujen, pwede pong accommodate po ng mga questions po natin relating to your grievances. Ayan, may gusto po bang magtanong? I-type lang po sa chat box po yung mga tanong ninyo about your grievances. Ayan, ayun po. So again po, I'm encouraging everyone po, if there are problems or issues arising within the context of the working environment, I'm appealing po, use the proper platform or venues para po ma-resolve kaagad. Kasi po minsan po mahirap po yung sumisegue pa tayo eh. We go to the right person, the right venue, the right platform, the right line of communication para po ma-resolve kaagad. Tama po si Atty. Rujen, effective intervention strategies para po ma-resolve po lahat. So may mga tanong po ba from the participants? Pag wala pong tanong, ibig pong sabihin, malinaw na malinaw po ang explanation ni Atty. Rujen. So I'm waiting for the questions. If there is none, again, Atty. Rujen S. Osmeña, Legal Officer of SDO Las Piñas, maraming pong salamat for sharing your time, your expertise, and your talent po on the issues on legal matters. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you po. Thank you, SDO Pasay. Have a great day.
Thank you, the attorney. So, nakakadalawang attorney na po ako for today. May pangatlo po. Ako po ay magiging prudent, magiging maayos. Baka po, in a while, ma-see you in court ako. Ayan, pinapatawa ko lang po kayo. Let's make things, light para po sa ating lahat. So, we will be again looking into another speaker that will give us updates, concerns, and issues on the DepEd NEU. Let us all welcome. Is he around na po, sir? Wait lang po. Let us all welcome Attorney Domingo B. Alidon, the President of DepEd NEU. Let's give Attorney Alidon a big
Yes,
warm of virtual applause.
magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat, Panyera, at sa lahat ng ating mga tagapakinig, no? Magandang hapon at salamat sa pag-imbita niyo sa akin ditong ating tinatawag na General Assembly, no? Uh, uh, General Assembly ng non-teaching personnel of our Pasay non-teaching personnel General Assembly. All right. So I would like to congratulate the non-teaching personnel of Pasay City Division for this conduct of General Assembly of our non-academic personnel, no, of this division, and congratulate also our superintendent in our division city. No? Now, ang binigay sa akin na topic ay updates, no, of NEO and issues and concerns surrounding public sector unionism, and of course ilang minuto binigay sa akin, 30 minutes. Pwede na rin 'yon, no? Kasi pag ako'y nagsilita ng public sector unionism ay minsan inaabot ng 2 oras o 3 oras, ano? Shorten na lang natin itong mga issues and concern natin and other issues on public sector unionism. Ano po? What is important is that there is a policy of DepEd on social dialogue between the rank and file employees and the management. At ito rin po ang isinusulong ng ating union advokasya sa dalawang panig, pag-usapan, anuman mga issues and concern na mayroon kung sakali. No? So, DepEd National Employees Union, under this principle on dialogue, promotes a harmonious relationship between the rank and file employees and the management. Now, before that, I would like to share with you the responsible public sector unionism. Noon-unang panahon ay napaka-negatibo ng union at during the time of martial law, ito nga po ang sinasabi na nagpapabigay ng problema, liability ang mga union sa panahon na yan. But kalaunan, nung nagkaroon ng bagong constitution, 1987 constitution, inilagay ang public sector unionism mismo sa batas, sa ligang batas, that it is the right of the employees to self-organization, no? And that's why, because of that, here comes Executive Order 180, the Bible for the behavior, no, conduct of public sector unionism in the Philippines. Now, under the amendments, so many amendments of the Executive Order 180, ito po yung ating sinususugan. Ano nga ba ang union? Ano nga ba ang mga advantages na pagkakaroon ng union? Ano nga ba ang mga maganda na mangyayari sa isang organization na mayroong union? Now, we can see that an agency without a union, there's something wrong with an office or agency kapag walang union. Why? Dahil ay ang connotation yan ay parang mayroong itinatago ang opisina na yan, kaya walang union, no? So this is the stand of this representation, and that is the general view, that if an office has no union, it is because there might be something fishy in that office. No? Kaya nga ay ini-encourage na magkaroon ng union because the union serves as the vanguard of the people against graft and corruption. Ano po? So, ngayon, ang union ay hindi na po tulad ng panahon ng martial law, na ito po ay nagiging problema, liability, or sa government, sa opisina. But rather, the union is already a partner of the management towards reaching the goal of the department and, of course, towards quality education right now. So, ano ba ang mga advantages pag nagkakaroon ng union? Of course, marami po, no? Pagdating sa mga rank and file, at least may sanggalan ang mga ating rank and file employees na kung saan ay mayroon silang tatakbuhan at mayroon silang lalapitan sa panahon na mayroon mga kagipitan. No po? At yun naman ang kaigihan sa mayroon isang union or asosasyon ang isang opisina. Ano po? Now, ano naman po ang mga sinasabi sa ating union, no? Well, as I said, marami pong mga advantages sa pagkakaroon ng union. Now, tingnan po natin, no? Tingnan po natin. Itong DepEd, for 100 years, first time in history, na nagkaroon tayo ng national union sa Department of Education. For a century, no? First time na naitatag ang isang union sa DepEd in 2009. No po? At ang union ay nire-rehistro sa DOLE at Civil Service at mayroon pong mga requirements yan na kung saan kailangan ang 10% sa total number of non-teaching personnel throughout Philippines, throughout DepEd ay mag-comply. So at that time, na-comply po natin yung around 10,000 members in 2009. With that, na-register ng ating union. At hindi lamang po yan, ang union ay na-accredit in 2012 at tayo po ay naging sole negotiating agent ng lahat ng rank and file employees ng DepEd para makipag-usap sa management on all welfare and benefits that may be enjoyed, no, by the non-academic rank and file employees. So wala pong ibang organization sa ngayon ang pwede mag-represent sa management patungkol sa negotiating powers, or negotiating powers of the agent like the union. Only the DepEd National Employees Union sa ngayon ang recognized at accredited ng civil service to negotiate with the management in all aspects, issues and concern surrounding the working condition of all non-teaching, non-academic rank and file employees of DepEd. So, yun po ang epekto pag na-rehistro at na-accredit ang isang union. So, mga kasama ko, ang ating union ay nagkaroon na po ng history, no? Na kung saan sa kasaysayan ng ating DepEd ay nagkaroon ng enjoyment ang ating non-academic rank and file employees ng tinatawag na collective negotiation agreement incentives, mga CNA incentives. At nang ma-rehistro natin ang ating union, acceptment na po yan. Nang ma-accredit po ang ating union as sole negotiating agent of rank and file to negotiate with the management, that is our diploma, no? Because a union without being accredited has no diploma. Ang pinaka-diploma natin ay accreditation po natin. Nang magkaroon po tayo ng CNA in 2013, at po ay napirmahan between this representation and Secretary Loistro in 2013, ay ang resulta ay nagkaroon tayo ng CN incentives in 2014, nagkaroon tayo ng CN incentives in 2015, nagkaroon tayo ng CN incentives in 2016, no? Sa 2014, more or less 5,400 ang ating naipamigay sa ating mga non-teaching personnel. Sa 2015, more or less 6,700 ang ating naipamigay sa mga non-teaching personnel throughout Philippines, and 7,400 in 2016. No? That was our first CNA ever. And our second CNA was signed in May 1 in Clark, and that was signed by this representation and Secretary Briones. No? Now, in 2021, we will be receiving our 2019 CN incentives. Palapakan po natin ang ating mga sarili, mabuhay ang DepEd National Employees Union, sapagkat nagkaroon kami ng meeting ng isang araw ay malapit na ibigay ang ating 2019 CNA incentives. Ano po? It's a matter of time po. May bibigyan na po yan dahil nagkaroon po ng linaw at agreement ang union at ang management ng isang araw. Now, I would like to announce to you people that our union, we started how many persons only at that time when we were organizing our union. That was only a central employees union, and we submitted our CNA to the management, and the management denied our CNA for the reason that our representation is only for central office. When ASIC for legal asked me and questioned me and said, Attorney Alidon, do you represent the entire non-teaching personnel of the Department of Education? And I said, only central office. So, ang sabi sa akin, therefore, I cannot negotiate with you, I cannot talk to you. So, therefore, what we did is we thought of ourselves to organize a National Employees Union. So, therefore, we traveled all Philippines 3 times, lahat ng syudad na puntahan ko. No? Isa na lang ang province na hindi ko napuntahan, ito yung Batanes na province. No? So, lahat ng sulok ng Pilipinas, maliban sa nabanggit, ay narating na po ng representation nito dahil sa pagkakandak natin ng public sector unionism at pag-organize ng ating DepEd National Employees Union. No, when time comes na organize natin, yun po, yung 3, yung 4, yung 10 na membro, yung 50, 300 ay naging 10,000, naging 15,000, at naging 20,000, naging 30,000. Ngayon po, ang membro po natin ng National Employees Union ay 50,137 members na po. So I think we should congratulate our DepEd National Employees Union for gathering this huge number of members, which is 50,000 plus. Ano po? So the structure of our union is that we have national executive officers and we have national board of trustees. Now, the highest governing body of our union is actually the General Assembly. The General Assembly is composed of officers and members throughout the Philippines, DepEd, represented by the officers coming from regional offices and division offices throughout Philippines. Now, that is the General Assembly. The President, Regional Chapter President of NCR, with Latawan, for example, and Division Chapter Presidents of NCR, like for example, in Pasay, we have Division Chapter. If you are the President of the NEU, Pasay Chapter, Attorney Jin, Panay, Napay rather, is the chapter president of NEU Pasay City Chapter. Now, in that General Assembly, this is what we call the power of the union. We amend, we approve, ratify, amend the Constitution and bylaws of the DepEd NEU. In 2018, we amended our DepEd CBL, Constitutional Bylaws, in Baguio City, so that we are now we have now a new constitution and bylaws, and among others, the amendments is the union dues is now 100 pesos and 50 pesos mutual aid. So all in all, 150, that is to be deducted from the members monthly, deduction from our salaries through APDS. Okay? Now, may magtatanong po, saan naman po mapupunta mga kasama yung ating kinukuha na mutual aid at union dues. Ang union dues po ay pinapamahagi sa tatlong layer. Sa division, office ay 30% ang share na kung saan ito ay gagamitin ng ating division chapter ng union for operational expenses. Itong 30% ay dadalhin doon sa regional chapter for region-wide operational expenses of the PDNU. And the rest of the percentage, 40%, shall be retained in the national level of the union for nationwide operational expenses. Attorney Ledon, ano naman po ang gamit ng 50 pesos na mutual aid? Ito po ang source ng ating mga welfare and benefits na ipamamahagi ng galing sa union. At ang nag-agree ang ating NBOT at NEO, NBOT is the National Board of Trustees, nag-agree na kung saan ay magkaroon ng ayuda itong pandemya nito na lahat ng mga PUI under probable cases sa COVID, infected victims ay mabigyan ng ayuda. And that is 3,000 pesos. Now, lahat naman ng mga napaaga na may kipagkita kay Lord, ay mayroon na ayuda, ay hindi na ayuda ito, ang tawag niyan ay bereavement assistance sa mga naiwan, mga membro natin ng union. So, yun po ang napupunta ng ating mutual aid. And all other benefits that will be agreed upon during the General Assembly that will be conducted in the future. At malay nyo, so gayahin natin yung ibang mga organizations na pag ikaw ay nag-retire, mayroon ka na rin pabaon. 10,000, 50,000, as the case may be, na kaya ng ating pondo. At malay mo, sa susunod, maski yung mga accident na talagang mayroon. Although sa ngayon, mga kasama, mayroon na po tayong ID, na kung saan mayroon tayong ID ng DepEd-NEO coupled with insurance po yan. So mayroon na accidental insurance po tayo. Yun ang kagandahan kapag ikaw ay mayroong na-issue ng ID. Dahil doon mapupunta yung 200 pesos na membership fee natin na kung saan i-show kayo ng NEO ID tapos mayroon pang insurance yan. Po? So yun. Yun ang function ng sinasabi natin ng General Assembly. Now, Attorney Lidon, ano naman po yung baba ng General Assembly? Yung box na yun. Yun ang sa baba ay NBOT. The NBOT is the National Board of Trustees composed of all regional chapter presidents from Region 1 to CAR 3, 4A, 4B, NCR, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Caraga, and BARM. BARM is a new chapter of our NEU in our structure. Now, mga kasama, the NBOT is the policy-making body below the General Assembly because the highest policy-making body is the General Assembly of the Union. Now, the next is NBOT, and the next is the another box is the NEO, National Executive Officers. Nandyan po ang National President, nandyan po ang Vice Deputy President, Vice President, etc. Treasurer, PRO, nandyan po sa National Executive Officers. Yung box na po yan. Now, ano naman po sa baba? Sa baba noon, sa box, kasi hindi ako dito sa Zoom. Medyo bago itong ating application nito, At medyo nangangapa ako rito Mas master natin yung Zoom. But anyway, first time to use this application, ditong application na ito. Now, next time I will present to you through PowerPoints, no, presentation. Ano naman po ang sa baba ng NEO? Ang sa baba ng National Executive Officers ay yung mga regional chapter ng ating union. Ito naman po ang mga presidente ng ating lahat ng division offices, at sila ay nag-elect kung sino magiging ang presidente ng regional chapter. Now in CR, for example, sa NCR, ang ating president ay si Attorney Wade Latawan. At ang sakop niya ng buong NCR, siyang regional chapter president of NCR. No po? So, yan ang ating sa NCR. Ano naman ang baba ng NCR? Yung mga regional chapter ng NCR. Ang baba na po yan ay yung division chapters. Ano po yung mga division chapters? Yun na po, kasama na po yung Pasay City Division. No po? Kasama po yung Las Piñas City Division, Caloocan, Manila, Pasig, etc. Kasama na rin po even the regional office unit. Hindi porke sa regional office ay yun ang regional chapter, hindi po. Ang regional office may presidente din po. Sila mga 100 mahigit, may presidente po din yan. Yan ay si Attorney Joy Dolnuan sa ngayon. Pero yan ay ka-level lang yung mga division office chapter ng ating union. Po. Pag sama-samahin mo ito mga division offices, chapters including regional office unit o regional office chapter, ito po ang bumubuo ng tinatawag na regional chapter of DepEd National Employees Union, NCR. Na po. So madaling intindihin. Ano naman po sa baba ng division chapter ng Pasay City Division? Ito naman po yung mga schools din na sinakasakupan ng Pasay City Division. No po? So that is the structure of our DepEd National Employees Union. All right? So again, in summary, we have the General Assembly, the highest policy-making body. Sa baba is NBOT, National Board of Trustees. And then sa baba yung National Executive Officers. You can just imagine, yung President ay nandyan sa pangatlong box. Kasi ang President ay under ng National Board of Trustees. No? Kung ano ang board resolutions ng National Board of Trustees, ini-execute ng National Executive Officers or Committee. Okay? So yun po, then sa baba, regional chapters, and then sa baba ay na box ay division chapters ng ating union. Now, Attorney Alidon, sa ibig sabihin ba niyan ay kanya-kanya tayo ng mga bylaws sa mga chapters? Hindi po. We only have one constitution and bylaws. Iisa lamang po ang ating constitution and bylaws sa ating DepEd National Employees Union. Hindi na po kailangan ng another constitution and bylaws ng regional chapter, ng division chapter. Dahil nakalagay na po yan doon sa ating bylaws, yung mga chapters na yan. There is only one CBL in our organization. So that's why we call that DepEd National. Kaya ang membership po ninyo, kahit nasa division kayo, ay national. Lahat po na nag-a-apply for membership, pinurward po dito sa national level ng union, ina-approvehan po yan ng national president in accordance with our constitution and bylaws. Wala pong member ng National President Union na hindi ko po na-approvehan. No po? So yun po ang direct membership sa ating National Employees Union. All right? So I would like to explain to you this before I end. Ito ay lang ito, pahapyaw lang na aking lecture ay at least a bird's eye view on the public sector unionism and our NEU. Now, ano naman po yung mga tinatawag, Attorney Alidon, na Agency P? Ang Agency P ay actually ay sinisingil natin sa mga hindi membro ng union sa panahon na nagbibigayan ng CNA incentives. Why? Dahil po ay wala namang ginawa ang hindi member ng union kung hindi po mag-antay lang ng biyaya. No? Kaya marapat lang na sila i-charge ng agency fee. Okay? Under Executive Order 180, ito po ay ina-allow. Ito po ay ina-allow na kung saan ay allowed na maningil ang agency fee from non-members in case there is CN incentives given to them, no, to all of us. What is agency fee again? In other words, service fee ang ibig sabihin yan. How much? That is an amount equivalent to the union dues paid by the members of the union in a year. So 100 times 12 months, 1,200 pesos plus other charges that are deemed appropriate by the union. So that membership fee is already deemed appropriate, no, charges that may be charged included in the agency fee, kaya 1,400 is an appropriate and reasonable amount of agency fee. Now, ngayon ay mayroon tayong agency fee at dahil nakiusap ang management na binabaan natin 1,200 agency fee. So that is the agency fee. Now, ano naman po yung mutual aid na paliwanag ko na po kanina under Article 10, Section 1, 2, 3 of our Constitution and Bylaws. Yon po ay sinisingil sa atin para sa mga kapakanan ng mga membro ng union. So, ganon po, no? Attorney Alito, hindi na ako mag-member ng union kasi mayroon naman akong CN incentives kapag nagkaroon ng bigayan ng CN incentives eh. So, why ako magbibigay? Total, ganito naman yan. No. Ang difference lang yan ay wala kang mutual aid. Okay? Pag nagkasakit ka ng COVID, wala kang ayuda. Okay? Pag, etc. And others that the Congress would approve. Kasi ang ating iniisip dyan ay magkaroon din tayo ng health card, no? Health card sa ating members kahit paano hindi naman maxicare, at least meron tayong health card. Magkakaroon tayo yan kapag naging maayos na itong ating collection ng mutual aid. O dili kaya kapag ikaw ay nag-resign or nagsawa ka na sa DepEd, mayroon naman tayong bibigay sa inyo na separation or pabaon sa iyo kung yan ang i-agreean natin sa National General Assembly. O dili kaya, retirement fee. Pag ikaw ay nag-retire na sa government service, sa DepEd, mayroon ka rin matatanggap sa atin. Kung yun din ang ating i-aprobahan sa General Assembly. Sapagkat, inuulit ko, sa ngayon, ang isa lang ang inaprobahan pa lang po natin ay yung ayuda sa COVID victims at saka yung bereavement assistance. Yan pa lamang po. Na po? So, napakaganda po nito na programa, yung mutual aid. Dahil in my dream someday, there shall be a DepEd personnel bank. No? Magkaroon tayo talaga ng bangko o kaya DepEd personnel hospital. Ito po yung mga vision ng ating union na someday ay hindi na maging basta-basta yung ating mga empleyado ng DepEd. Kung mayroon ngang hospital ang military, bakit DepEd wala? Ano po? So yan po, yan ang ating mga pangarap sa buhay natin sa ating union. At ano pang advantages pag mayroong union? Alam mo, ang union is an agent of change. Ang agent of change meaning tayo din po ay behikulo sa pagbabago at anuman mga pagbabago na yan basta para sa kabutihan. For example, we are changing the GSIS law. We are amending GSIS law. The Congress is right now amending GSIS law. I am fortunate to be invited and made as resource persons in that amendment of GSIS. So we have technical working group, no, that is in charge in amending the GSIS law. For how many times? For 6 years, I had been invited there as a resource person. Kaya pinaglalaban natin doon na magkaroon ng additional na board of trustees doon sa GSIS. Why? Because we consist of one half or more than one half of the GSIS members. Because right now, we have 1 million more than personnel of DepEd. So we are only in our GSIS, we only have 1.5 or 1.6 personnel, no, of members right now, active members. So that means kalahati mahigit. Dapat kalahati din mahigit ang Board of Trustees na galing sa DepEd. Kaya ayun ang ating nilalaban na dagdagan man lang ng isa o dalawang teaching personnel na magre-represent sa atin at isang non-teaching personnel doon sa GSIS, no? So magkakaroon ng hearing again sa committee at ito'y inihirit natin na magkaroon ng representation ang non-teaching personnel sa board ng GSIS. Otherwise, baka hilingin na lang natin na humiwalay na lang tayo sa GSIS, no? Dahil napapabayaan ang ating ang kapakanan ng ating mga manggagawa. So, yun ay isa sa ating mga panukala at ating inihihirit yan sa Kongreso. Ano po? So again, in summary, under the law, no, under existing laws of the Republic of the Philippines, starting from the fundamental law of the land, the Constitution, and Executive Order 180 and other issuances of civil service and PSLMC, including the CNA that we have now, is that there is only one organization right now in the Department of Education insofar as non-teaching personnel, which is recognized, accredited, sole negotiating agent of all non-teaching personnel throughout DepEd, which is 60 or 70,000 numbers that will represent them with the management in so far as CNA negotiation is concerned. And all other matters that interest us as employees of DepEd, as non-academic personnel of DepEd, only DepEd National Employees Union has that right to represent you people from the field to the secretary. So yun po ang ating, we are very proud that our DepEd National Employees Union is the only union that can negotiate with the management in anything under the sun, everything under the sun that has something to do with the plight of our non-teaching personnel as unfiled personnel of DepEd. No? Yun po ang ating kaya po ang DepEd National Employees Union ay mayabang po dan pagdating diyan. We are very proud of that. So mga kasama, I'm open to questions if you have questions as our members in this Pasay City Division chapter. I understand that this is a gathering of all teaching personnel in Pasay City, so that this is consisted of permanent and non-permanent employees of Pasay City Division. I am hoping someday that we can have our pure General Assembly of DepEd National Employees Union Pasay City Division General Assembly in this division, so that we can really have our own General Assembly. But I am happy because Paniera Jen, no, Napay had spearheaded this assembly, and at least to introduce maybe the union to all non-teaching personnel, no? At we are going to affiliate even the contract of service. It has been in our policy now in central office in the national level of INEU that the contract of service shall be affiliated. They shall be organized and we will affiliate them with our DepEd National Employees Union so that their plights, we can fight for their plights with the management. No po? Non-payment of salaries, etc., delayed payment, whatever, overtime, anything under the sun that affects them as a COS. No? We will help them. All right? So I am encouraging the contract of service personnel to organize themselves, and the union will even help this contract of service, no, employees. So mga kasama, kaisa tayo lahat, COS man hindi. The only thing is that the COS cannot be, as of the moment, mid officers of the union and cannot even be members of the union right now. That is the policy of PSLMC, no, of Public Sector Labor Management Council. Yan po yung gumagawa ng mga rules and regulations sa behavior ng ating union, no, in public sector, no po. So yun po, mga kasama, at karangalan ako ang maimbita sa inyo. Salamat kay Panyera, kay Attorney Jane Napay sa pag-imbita sa akin. At naman mga katanungan niyo po ay pwede ko pong sagutin, at pwede ko pong kayo ay bigyan ng linaw kung mayroon po kayong mga kailangan ng clarification po regarding sa ating union po. No po? So maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. Mabuhay po ang non-teaching personnel sa Pasay City Division Office. Panyera?
Thank you, Attorney Alidon, sa pagbibigay po sa amin ng overview of the importance and the advantages of being a member of the union. So, Attorney, may mga comments lang po dito. Baka po may gusto po kayong i-add. So, first po is from Mr. Bong Vinluan. Ito po comment na, Attorney. Sana po ay mag-convene early ang National Employees Union ng DepEd to ratify the mutual aid resolution. Maganda po itong benefit ng non-teaching personnel. Mabuhay ka, Attorney Alidon. Would you like to say something po, Attorney?
Yes po, salamat Panyera, no? Opo, actually sa WFP ng DepEd National Employees Union po, ay inilagay na po namin ang ating mga travel na official travel. By the way, no, before I forget, under Article 4, Section 3, allowed po ng official business na mag-travel ang mga members ng union, no? Officers and members under our article sa CNA. Ito yung ating CNA po. Siguro mabigyan kayo ng kopya. Ito po yung ating CNA. Ito yung first page ng ating CNA. Pakitingnan nyo po. Ito po, no? Ito yung first page. At kung makikita nyo, yung Department of Education represented by Secretary ng DepEd, Secretary Luling, Briones. At yan po ay, yun, represented po by yours truly. Yun po ay ang ating collective negotiation agreement. At doon sa section 3, yan, ito po yung article. Pasensya kayo, no, mano-mano muna yung aking pag-present kasi iba-iba itong application nyo, pero appreciated po. This is a challenge to me, no? Yan, Article 4, and tingnan mo yung Article 3, official time off. Yun po, nakalagay po dyan lahat na kung saan entitled mag-travel on official business, no? On official business, yung ating mga officers and members. To summary, the members of officers and members of Pasay City Division Chapter of the NEO can attend the National Assembly on official business. Ito na po yung sinasabi nyo, sana magkaroon ng National General Assembly. Opo, nag-budget na po kami sa Central ng 300 people to attend, no? Sa kung saan man yon nagaganapin. Dahil yung work financial plan ng DepEd and EO ay nilagyan na po namin yan. At we have 7 million na na-approve na ng ating DepEd dito sa Central Office na makakapag-attend ng 300 na yan packs with registration, no? And then we are also allowed to attend, and you are also allowed to attend if you are an officer, to attend on official business. Even if you are just a member on official business to regional chapter, General Assembly. Saan nyo man gawin man sa resort, huwag nyo man gamin yan, doon nyo man yan sa Boracay gawin, di natin alam, o sa Laia, o Batangas Beach, o Bataan, that is official business. Entitled po tayo dyan under the CNA. Okay? So, entitled ang mga membro, 100% entitled. Officers and members entitled to Division, Chapter, General Assembly. Once a year. pwede kayo mag-General Assembly even outside office. Okay? Entitled po kayo niyan at pwede mo akong imbitahan, pwede nyo kaming imbitahan kung saan nyo man mag-conduct. Pwede yan sa resort or what. Isabay nyo rin yan sa ano nyo mo sa pandemya talagang para tayong nabuburyo na, no? Minsan lumabas naman tayo, no? So, totoo po yun. It is our plan that there should be General Assembly to approve other, no, benefits. Kasi sa ngayon, ang approve pa lang, nangahas na nga kami, no? Wala pang ratification ng General Assembly, pero nangahas na kami na talaga ang board ay talagang magbigay na ng ayuda sa pandemya. Inunahan na namin ang ating General Assembly. Siguro naman hindi magagalit ang General Assembly sa pagbibigay ng ayuda sa mga biktima. Ano po? At kung kinuha ni Lord ay 5,000, yun. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo mas mataas, mamili kayo, 3,000 o 5,000. No, I'm just joking. Yun po.
Thank you, Attorney.
Opo,
May another
opo.
comment po, Attorney. Ito po ang
opo.
comment ni Mr. Agapito Teodoro Manaog. Thank you so much for the meaningful and productive information. How I wish all levels of rank and file personnel will be represented in the GSIS board. May gusto po ba kayong linawin or i-add, Attorney?
Opo, it has been our fight, no? We're fighting for that for how many years? Ang gusto ng ng teaching group ay isapuera yung non-teaching. Kaya kahapon actually nagkaroon ng meeting. Kahapon ba 'yon? Nagkaroon ng kahapon, no, yeah. I was invited to attend a virtual meeting with the TWG and some congressmen of our lower house. So I said that I fully vehemently objected that there is no non-teaching personnel, and the chairperson allowed me to submit the official paper, no, of the union, so that in the plenary of the committee rather, this is actually the invitation, and this is the yesterday. Ito po yung bill, no, na pinag-usapan namin, at ang sabi ko ay the non-teaching personnel should be represented. Why? Because more or less we are 70 to 80,000 non-teaching personnel, at we know the plights of the rank and file employees. Hindi naman ang superintendent, director nakakaintindi sa baba kung hindi tayo ng mga rank and file employees. So sa plenary ng committee hearing, we are ensured that I will be attending, and I will be presenting our point of view as the representative of non-teaching personnel of defense. So we will fight for that. We will really fight for that. And kung ayaw nila, bahala sila. But we will fight for that. No? Hindi tayo susurrender. It has been proved before. So that no retreat, no surrender tayo dyan. Pero may pag-asa naman. We will submit our position paper plus our representation during the hearing. No? Don't worry, mga kasama. Pagdating sa flight ng mga empleyado, your representation is there. Kaya natin makipagparasaan yan hanggat sa kakayanin natin. Kaya natin. Ano po? Yun po yung ating eksperto magipaglaban para sa atin mga manggagawa. Opo.
Thank you, Attorney Alidon, sa pakikipaglaban sa mga NTP.
Opo.
Salamat po talaga. Pero, Attorney, may tanong po ako personally.
Sige po.
Pwede po bang magtanong?
Yes.
First, Attorney, hindi po ako isang panyera. Isa po akong nurse. Baka po in the future, Attorney, maging panyera po ako sa
Malay mo nagdilang ang hila ko, di ba?
Apo. So, Attorney, ito lang po tanong ko. Doon po kasi sa payslip po namin, may nababasa lang po ako, Attorney, na 150 deduction po, NEU po. Ano po ba yun, attorney? Is that for the membership fee? Para saan po ba yun, attorney? Or ano po ba yung significant ng deduction para po sa aming members?
Okay. Ang ipaliwanag ko sa inyo, no? Kung para saan yon. Ang una, tatlo lang ang mga contributions natin sa ngayon. Ang una, actually hindi contribution. Membership fee, hindi contribution. Membership fee, 200 pesos. Ang membership fee na 200 pesos, kahit naman po anong organization, mayroon talagang membership fee. Diba? At yun ay napaka mababa na kung saan magkakaroon kayo ng ID. Hard ID, no? Parang ATM. At ito ay coupled with insurance, life insurance. No? So therefore, may kabuluhan. Minsan nga yung in-EU ID ko, pinipresent ko sa mga bangko, nire-recognize, ano? At iba pang mga testimony ng ating mga members kasi nakalagay kasi din DepEd, tinitingnan lang DepEd saka yung in-EU, no? So, teka muna, kamani, pakita ko lang yung ating ID, pakikuha yung aking bag dyan, no? Na maliit, pakihanap, para makita nila yung ating ID. Sapagkat napakaganda ng ating ID at hindi kayo magsisisi, ano? Kapag ikaw ay nakatanggap itong ID na ito. So, pakikuha nga kamani ng aking bag na maliit at kukunin ko yung wallet. So, yun ay 200 and then yung kasi 150, ano? Yung 100, yun po ang union dues. Okay? Yung union dues na yan, that will be used for operational expenses of our DepEd National Employees Union. So, wala naman po organisasyon na walang operational expenses, hindi ba?
Opo.
Alam niyo po, kahit nga sa kahit nga po sa Homeowners Association, nagbabayad kayo ng homeowners dues, di ba? Before that, I would like to show, nasa ba yung camera? Nawala ng camera, no? Paano kaya iaan ito? Yan natin camera.
Ayan po, nakikita po namin, attorney.
Yan.
Ayan. Ang ganda pala ng ID.
Yan ang ID. Okay? Yan. Magagalaw lang. DepEd yun. Okay? Tingnan mo, pinirman yan ni Chairman Balawag kasi siya ang chairman. Hindi naman ako pwede pumirma sa sarili ko. All the rest, ako ang nakapirma po dyan. Gumagalaw, ano? Yun. Member protect, but yun ang insurance natin. Pero yun. Magalaw, ano? Mga kasama, magalaw. So, yun. Ganun po yung ating ID. Okay. Yun ang ating ID. So, balik tayo sa 100 peso. Lahat po ng organization mayroon butaw, mayroon union dues, may dues. No? Ang ating DepEd, for how many years, itinatag natin yan, nag-start kami yan 2002. No? At umikot kami ng buong Pilipinas hanggang 2009. Kahit ni Kusing, hindi kami naningin. Ang notaryo ko doon napupunta sa paggastos sa organize natin ng union. No? Aaway na kami ni Commander. Nasa na yung pag-notaryohan mo. Kasi lahat, kuha ko yung notary noon sa DepEd, Central Office. So, kumukuha ko doon ng, hindi naman ako nagmamayabang, nakakakuha din naman ako mga 30,000, no? A month, no? Yung notary, 50,000. Lahat yun ay nauubos sa pag-union. Hanggang nagkaroon 2009, nare-registro, wala pa rin tayong union dues, hindi tayo naningin. Ano ang bakit ko sinasabi dyan? Kasi ayaw ko na matagurian yung ating union na pera-pera lang. Hanggat hindi natin napapatunayan na tayo ay nagkaroon ng CNA incentive sa kanila, wag tayong maniningil ng union dues. Kung tutusin, from the time na tayo nag-start in 2004, na na-organize ang ating union, dapat naniningil na tayo Pero hindi tayo naningil. Kung tutusin, nang formally na-register ang ating union in 2009, dapat mayroon na tayong union dues na sinisingil. Pero hindi ko pa rin pinagpatuloy yung paniningil ng union dues. Why? Wala pa napapatunayan ng union na CM incentives. Na nagkaroon na ng senior incentives in 2014, it was even implemented at the time of 2015 or 2014, na-implement yan 2016. Nang na-implement yan in 2016, that was only the time na na magkaroon ng senior incentives. Pero hindi pa rin natuloy kasi walang APDS. Kailan lang nagkaroon ng APDS? 2020 lang. Last part of 2019. Nang tumanggap ang ating mga membro ng senior incentives, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, all in all, 18,000, almost 19,000. Natanggap nila, ngayon na naniningil tayo yung Diyos, nagre-reklamo. Ano ba yun? Di ba? Parang hindi makatuwiran, hindi makatarutan. Okay? Yung 100 pesos na yan, ipunin mo yan, yun ang ating operational expenses. Maawa naman tayo sa ating pinapasweldo dito ng mga, minsan nga, pasweldo ng ating mga staff dito, ako pa yung nag-sweldo noon eh. Kasi wala man na yun yung Diyos, di ba? Marami, mga living witnesses nandito nakikinig yun. So, ngayon, salamat, mayroon na, operational expenses. So, saan mapupunta? Dadalhin po natin yan sa inyo, mga kasama, sa division office, regional, division chapter, yung 30%. Kayo din po ang gagastos yan, yung 30% sa iyo yung Diyos. Another 30% ay dadalhin sa regional office, gagastusin yan, operational expenses, and regional chapter ng ating union. The 40% will be used of operational expenses by the National Employees Union, nationwide operation. Yun po. Okay?
New attorney, may isa pa po. Sana po hindi muna kayo magsawa sa kakasagot.
Hindi po. Gusto ko po yan. Ganito.
Sana po, attorney.
Sa mga tanong, okay po yan. Ano
okay,
po yun?
Ito po ang question, attorney. Attorney, good PM po. Question lang po. If you have salary deduction na po ng monthly dues, wala na po bang agency fee na deduction si member pag may CNA na po siya?
Wala na po. Ang mayroon lang deduction ay hindi membro. Kasi punishment yan sa kanila dahil hindi sila members. Ano ba sila? Nangalang sila tapos hindi sila sisingilan ng tinatawag na service fee. Hindi pwede sa mga non-members. Singilin natin agency fee. First, that is authorized by law. Second, that is in effect to encourage them to become member. Mag-member ka na lang para hindi ka masingil ng agency fee. Sa mga membro po na nabawasan na ng union dues, hindi kayo mababawasan ng agency fee. Solo nyo po yan, buo. Makukuha nyo yung CNA incentives. Kung ang CNA incentives ay 3,000, buo sa inyo yon. Kung 4,000, buo yan sa inyo yan. Pag hindi member, i-release natin yung union dues payment for a year. Malinaw po?
Malinaw, attorney. Thank you daw po from Ma'am Sharon Abdila. Thank you po, attorney, for your time. At sana po next time, ma-invite po namin kayo ulit for our second General Assembly. Not virtual na sana po. Sana makasama po namin kayo live and alive sa next next assembly po.
My privilege. It's my honor to be.
Thank you so much, attorney. Have a nice day po. Ingat po kayo palagi.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you sa division. Okay, hoping next time to have our DepEd Eneo Pasay City General Assembly chapter. Okay?
Yes po.
Salamat.
Looking forward to that. Attorney, goodbye, attorney. Have a nice day po.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye po. Ayan. So, tapos po ng legal officers, may officer pa rin po akong tatawagin today, but she is a medical officer. Last Monday po, if you could still remember, yung topic po, WANA laban sa pandemya, natakal po ni Doktora short explanation on the vaccination process. So today, we will be listening to her so we could have informed decisions in the long run. So let us all welcome the Medical Officer 3 of the School Health and Nutrition Section. She is the leader of the band. Let us all welcome Dr. Maria Rizel G. Enriquez Reyes, Medical Officer 3. A big, healthy applause to Dr. po.
For that wonderful introduction, Cecil. Naglolokohan na kami ni Attorney Jean kasi panyera ka. Sabi ko, banyera ka. No, kidding aside. Anyway, before I proceed with the topic that was given to me, Sir Eric, pwede na po ba yung ating slide? Okay. So the topic that was assigned to me is to be or not to be vaccinated. To be or not to be. Okay. This is the COVID-19 vaccination. All about COVID-19 vaccination. But before that, before I go on with the topic, meron lang po akong dalawang questions sa ating lahat. Alam po ba natin kung gaano kalaki ang problema natin sa COVID-19? Gaano kalaki ang problema ng Pilipinas pagdating sa COVID-19? At pangalawang question, paano o ano-ano ba ang pwedeng makatulong para masugpo ang COVID-19? At paano makakatulong ang bakuna sa paglutas ng ating problema dito? Okay, next slide please. Okay, worldwide po, I got this from World Health Organization. We have 117 million plus cases all over the world. No? And next slide po. Ito po ay March 10 lang, March 10. And ito po yung total number of deaths. Na umabot na po tayo sa 2 million, na magde-3 million na rin. Alam ko po napakahirap i-grasp ng mga numbers na ito. Kasi milyon-milyon. No? But let me just put it this way. Kung alam po natin ang population ng Philippines, ang population po natin, the last time I checked, was 109 million, roughly 110 million. Yun pong lahat ng tao sa Pilipinas, bata, matanda, lahat po tayo, kasama na pati yung mga pinagbubuntis. Ganun po karami ang kaso sa buong mundo. Okay? At yun pong deaths, number of deaths, which is, sabi po natin, almost magti 3 million na rin po yan. Yan po yung population ng Quezon City. So, kung titingnan natin, ganun kalaki ang magnitude ng namatay at ng nagkaroon ng COVID-19. Okay? Next slide po. Kung titingnan po natin, sa Philippine situation, ang total number of cases po natin ay nasa 600,000 na mahigit. Wherein yung active case po dito ay nasa 7.9%. Ang nakakalungkot po dito ay yung deaths na umabot ng 12,608. Kung titingnan po natin ito, yung data ng death ay sabihin lang natin na 2.08% lang. Ang nakakalungkot po dyan, pwede pong isa dun sa ating naging kaibigan, sa ating kapamilya, sa ating katrabaho, no? Yan po yung mga posibleng namatay. So, syempre po, ayaw naman po natin na kung kukunin man ang ating mga kasama sa bahay o kasama sa trabaho ay yung dyan po makukuha o dyan magsasuccumb, no? Ayaw naman po natin. No? Okay? So, next. Ginawa po natin naman, or tingnan naman po natin yung Pasay situation. This was taken March 10, 2021. Meron na pong active cases na 552 ang Pasay, contributing dun sa total case ng 8,844. At may namatay po na 229. Okay? Bakit po ito significant? Mamaya po malalaman po natin, makikita po natin as we go along. Next slide po. Yung akin pong ipipresent sa inyo ay part also of town hall presentation na ginawa ni Dr. Anna Ong Lim, a professor and the chief infectious and tropical disease in pediatrics ng UP-PGH. Nagkaroon po kasi sila ng town hall meeting kagabi, the other day. Nakasama po yung mga barangay captains, mga taga-City Health Office ng Pasay, si Mayor at yung ating mga local officials ng Pasay. And marami pong siyang diniscuss regarding dun sa mga malamang maraming questions na tumatakbo sa ating isipan kung tayo ay magpapabakuna o hindi. Okay, next po. So what do we have here? Ito po ay data ng weekly cases no ng COVID-19 sa Pilipinas mula nung March 2020 hanggang March ng 2021. Dito po makikita natin, meron po akong nilagay na mga arrow dyan, which stands for yung mga significant na mga pangyayari nung mga time ng pandemya. Dito po dun sa first arrow po na inilagay ko, makikita po natin, ito po yung halos na pinag-usapan natin na mukhang nag-peak yung cases natin sa buong Pilipinas. And dito rin po yung panahon na nagsabi o nag-request ang ating mga healthcare workers ng parang anong tawag doon? Ceasefire, no? Ceasefire muna. Or hindi dahil napapagod, partly napapagod pero hindi susuko. Time out, tama. Yun, time out ang tawag pala. Nanghingi ng time out not because ayaw na ng mga healthcare workers natin, but time out para mag-regroup, time out para makausap ang ating national government to look into things na pwedeng gawin ng ating local government at ng buong sambayanang Pilipino para matutunan o para matutukan kung paano pabababain ang ating mga kaso. So, with the time out, nangyari po dito ay bumababa po yung cases natin. Kasi ito po yung time dun sa second part po, yung second na arrow, ito po yung nag-represent na tama, nag-time out nga at nung time na yon nagkaroon po ng intensive na quarantine, quarantine at lockdown ng ating mga borders at lockdown ng mga cities and provinces na tumaas yung cases. So, dahil ganun po ang nangyari, nagdire-diretso po ang pagbaba ng ating mga kaso hanggang sa noong November, wherein pagdating po dun sa third na arrow, mapapansin po natin bumaba ang cases at unti-unti masasabi din natin na posibleng nakaka-cope na rin po ang ating health system na matulungan ang ating mga naging pasyente at the same time natulungan din ang ating mga healthcare workers na hindi tuluyang mapagod ng mapagod. Okay? Now, after po nitong November na ito, mapapansin niyo po, that is between between November or mga December 15, nag-start po ng di ba, ng Christmas vacation. So may mga movement na nangyari. So nung time na nag-movement, makikita po natin at expected po natin na pagdating ng January, mag-start na po ng pag-rise ng cases again. Bakit? Meron pa rin pong traslasyon nung time na yon, Although hindi na ganun ka-massive yung dami ng pumunta dun sa traslasyon, napigilan na rin po because of the health standards na ginawa o na in-institute na somehow nakatulong din po sa pag-control kahit papano. Nakakita po tayo ng rise ng numbers. So what does this say? Hindi po agad-agad umaakyat ang numbers. Usually we give it 2 weeks because yun pong 2 weeks na yun po ang incubation period ng virus. So Ganun po. Ngayon, yung January natin, sige, mapagbibigyan mo na talagang tataas. Ang hindi po natin napaghandaan ay yung pagdating ng Marso. Pagdating po ng March, kasama po ito, kung titingnan nyo po yung fourth na arrow, kung makikita nyo po yung data, nag-start na po siyang umakyat. At ito po ang hindi masyadong napaghandaan at kailangan po nating pagtuunan ng pansin. Kadalasan po, or ito pong mga times na ito, ang cases po natin ay umaabot ng 2,000 hanggang 3,000 kada araw. So, mahirap po para sa atin na makomprehend yun dahil po pag ganyan po at nagpatuloy ito, magiging malaking problema po sa ating lahat. Ang pag-increase ng data na ito. Okay? Sige po. Next po. Sorry, meron po ba kayong nakikitang slide? Sir Eric? Meron po.
Sorry, naputol lang.
You may continue, Doc Reg. Naputo lang po.
Okay. Nurse Cecil, may nakikita ng slide?
Wala pa po, kagandahan ko lang po, Doktora.
Alright. Sanay naman ako dyan. Anyway, sige po. Habang iniintay po natin yung slides, no? Yung susunod ko po kasing slide is the COVID-19 tracing around cities and provinces. Nakalagay po doon na, sige po, next slide. Okay. Pagdating po dun sa susunod na slide, ito po ay galing sa COVID-19 tracker. Makikita niyo po dun sa slide, dun sa upper portion, yung top regions and top cities and provinces na nagko-contribute, no, ng data ng cases. So, nakakalungkot kasi meron na po tayong mga ibang regions na napasama na nag-contribute ng malaki, which is CAR. Dati po wala yan dyan. Ang Cebu at Cebu City, wala rin po. Nakakalungkot na nandun tayo, di ba? Yung Pasay po is a major contributor now ng cases ng COVID-19. Okay? So, next po. At dahil dyan, in fairness naman po sa government, meron pong ginawa ang national government kasama ang DOH ng National Action Plan Phase 2 wherein kasama po dyan ang prevention, detection, isolation, treatment, reintegration at saka yung pag-mainstream ng ating new normal. No? Of course, when it comes to prevention, nandyan po yung ating personal protection, kasama po lahat yan. Hanggang community quarantine. Pagdating po sa detection, kasama po ang contact tracing at saka po, kasama po ang contact tracing, no, aggressive contact tracing at saka po yung community testing na ginagawa po, lalo ngayon ginagawa sa Pasay, no. Meron po tayong community testing na ongoing sa ABES, A. Bonifacio Elementary School. Kasunod po nito ang pag-isolate dun sa ating mga cases, coronavirus cases, no? Meron po tayong mga isolation facilities. Nagkakaroon din po ng mga community protocols para sa positive cases at saka ang pagko-construct po ng ating mga construction support for government hospitals. Not to mention also yung mga treatment, no? Yung mga treatment facilities na inihanda ng ating gobyerno. Kasama na po, susunod dito ang reintegration wherein yung mga nag-positive po ay i-reintegrate pagkatapos silang ma-quarantine, pagkatapos silang gumaling, mapapabalik na po natin sila sa ating dun sa mga trabaho, no? At ang main goal po natin is ma-mainstream ang new normal. So how do we mainstream the new normal? Ano po ba? Bakit ba kailangan ng mag-mainstream ng new normal? Ito po ay kailangan para kung meron man pong, kahit meron pa pong virus sa paligid, kahit nandun pa rin po ang risk ng infection at reinfection, pag na-mainstream, pag nagkaroon po tayo na ang goal natin ay yung better normal, at mas maganda po na matutunan natin kung paano tayo mag-adapt at maka-adapt doon sa mga bagay na makakalutas ng ating problema sa pandemya. Meaning, kung meron, kahit po merong virus, alam na natin yung mga proper ways para hindi po tayo mahawa, matulungan din natin po ang ating ekonomiya, matulungan din po natin ang ating mga sarili at ang ating pamilya para hindi na makapaminsala ng sobra-sobra yung virus na ito sa atin. Okay? Next po. Diyan po pumapasok ang usapin ng bakuna. So, hindi po lingid sa inyong kaalaman na nandiyan na po ang vaccine, ang mga vaccines na available o naging made available ng ating government, no? In fact, mamaya po kung meron kayong mga questions regarding sa kung ano ang mga naramdaman dun sa nung mga taong nagpabakuna, I can also attest kasi po ako po ay bakunado na. Kaya nung sinabi po ni attorney sa akin na ang topic is to be or not to be vaccinated, medyo nandun ako sa biased side ng I am for vaccination, pero just the same, ito po ay kailangan sa inyo po manggagaling, hindi po sa akin lamang o sa ibang tao magdedesisyon para sa inyo. Okay? So, dyan po pumasok ang usapin ng virus, o ng vaccine rather. Next po. Pero bago po yan, kailangan po nating malaman kung paano nag-work yung vaccine. No? Paano nga ba nag-work yung vaccine? Yung vaccine po, ito po ay made up of weakened or inactivated virus. Inactivated, pwede pong patay. No? Patay na virus ito. Na ini-inject po sa katawan ng tao para po magkaroon ng mga sundalo. Yan pong letter Y na yan sa gitna. Yan po yung mga sundalo o yung tinatawag po namin na antibody. No? Yan po ay napoproduce pag po ang katawan ay nagkaroon. Marami pong, I could go on with the immunity concept, pero medyo limited po yung time natin. I will explain to you as simple as possible yung pagdating po sa immunity. Yun pong Y, yung letter Y po na yan po ay napoproduce, yan po yung antibody o yung ating mga sundalo sa katawan na naipoproduce pag tayo po ay nagpabakuna o tayo po ay naka-encounter na ng virus na yon dahil tayo ay nagkasakit. No? At pagdating po dun sa, tanggalin muna po natin yung pagkakasakit kasi bakuna muna po yung pag-usapan natin. Pag tayo po ay nagpabakuna, ito po ay vaccine-induced production ng antibody, no, ng ating mga sundalo. So, ang mangyayari po dito, pag kayo po ay nagkaroon ng encounter doon sa virus na iyon, tayo po ay magkakaroon na ng proteksyon. Hindi na siya basta-basta makakapasok doon sa ating katawan. Okay? Next po. Ang slide pong ito ay nagpapakita lamang ng number of people vaccinated sa iba't ibang lugar o sa iba't ibang bansa. Kung mapapansin niyo po, ang Chile at ang Israel, sila po ay halos nakakalahati na ng kanilang population or more than half of their population ay nabakunahan na. So sila pong mga nagkaroon na ng herd immunity na tinatawag, mamaya po i-discuss ko rin po ito, makakapag-contribute na po sila ng mga data para po sabihin kung ano ang nangyari after ng vaccination. No? Of course, for a short period of time, makikita natin kung ano ang itsura ng kanilang kanilang hospitalizations at saka yung mga critical illness, critical levels po ng hospitalization sa kanila. Okay? So, suffice to say, yan po, marami pong napabakunahan sa kanilang mga bansa. Okay? Next po. Ito pong slide na to, let's focus on the first 4 slides. Yung pong kulay blue na line, it represents yung age over 60. No? So, yung more than 60 years old na nagpabakuna. And yung orange po ay yung mga ages 0 to 59. Okay. So, dito po, makikita po natin na meron pong 35% drop ng cases. Meron din pong 30% drop ng hospitalizations, be it critical, be it moderate, severe, or critical. At meron din pong 20% drop ng critically ill patients. So, suffice to say na naging maganda ang kanilang response ng kanilang bansa nung time na nagkaroon na sila ng pagbabakuna, ng malawakang pagbabakuna. Okay. Next po. So, paano po natin paano po, alam ko po maraming nag-iisip sa inyo, naku, baka hindi naman safe, baka ganyan, baka hindi naman talaga effective, o meron pong sinasabi na may mga theory pa sila na hindi, ginawa ng China para magkaroon ng bakuna, etc., etc. But, alam niyo po, tingnan po natin, no? We must look first for the safety and the efficacy of the vaccine. Para po tayo ay makapagdesisyon, no, ng tama. So, ang bakuna po na ipinasok o ipinapasok sa ating mga bansa, no, sa ating bansa at sa ibang mundo ay dumadaan po sa masusing pag-aaral, coming from preclinical, no, preclinical phase, sa phase 1, sa phase 2 at sa phase 3 bago po ma-approve 'yan, no, bago ma-approve. So, kung titingnan po natin, nung nagsimula silang maggawa ng vaccines, kasama po lahat halos, no, nagtulong-tulong para makakuha ng bakuna o para makapag-produce ng bakuna. They started off with 181 vaccines, no, probable vaccines. Pero habang tumatagal po, like when you go to phase 1, ang phase 1 po, merong certain number of individuals. Sa phase 2, medyo mas marami ng tao na naka-include dun sa study. At dun sa phase 3, medyo mas malaki na ang magnitude, no? Kasi international na ang binibigyan ng bakuna bago pa siya makarating dun sa approval. So, mas husing pag-aaral din po ang kanilang ginawa para magkaroon tayo ng approval dun sa mga vaccines na available. And to date, tayo po ay meron lamang 12 vaccines, no, na na-approve, no, for circulation dun sa mga bansa na nangangailangan, no. Okay. So next po. So how do vaccines work? Paano ba yung SARS na yan? Paano ba ang ginagawa ng bakuna, no, sa atin, no? Doon po sa picture on your right, you could just imagine yung SARS-CoV, no, yung COVID-19 virus, para siyang bola na meron siyang mga spikes or parang mga pako sa ibabaw. At ito pong mga pakong ito, yan po ay nagsisilbing susi, no? Ang goal po kasi nung COVID-19 virus is makapasok sa cell. At pag ito ay gustong pumasok sa cell, nakikita niyo po yung parang blue dyan. Yung pong blue dyan, yan ay nagsisilbing parang lock and key. So ito po yung lock, no? Yan yung parang doorknob, no? At ang gagawin po ng virus, papasok po siya or didikit po yung kanyang susi dun sa doorknob, masususian siya, makakapasok na. Anong ginagawa naman ng vaccines? If you have the vaccines, you will produce neutralizing antibodies, no? Nagkaroon ka ng vaccine, nagkaroon ka ng antibody without you being infected, no? Kasi vaccine-generated antibodies po ang ipinroduce ng bakuna. Okay? So much so that pag dumating po yung SARS-CoV, imbis na dun po siya pupunta sa mismong doorknob para masusian niya at makapasok sa cell, pupuntahan po or makakarating sa kanya yung mga neutralizing antibodies para hindi po makapasok sa cell, or if ever man po na makapasok, hindi po gaano ang magiging effect sa ating katawan. Okay. Next slide, please. Ganyan po ang nangyari, no, sa mga vaccines. Ngayon, ang ipipresent ko po sa inyo, marami po kasing proseso ng paggawa ng vaccines, no? At ito pong lahat na to ay meron na sa merkado. Okay? Doon po sa first parang syringe dun sa inyo, right? It's a protein subunit. Ang protein subunit po, kumukuha siya ng isang parte ng vaccine ng virus, at yun ang ini-inject dun sa katawan ng tao, no? Ang pinaka-end point po natin, pakitingnan po yung mga green na nasa ibaba. Ang gusto po natin lahat, at yan po naman ang ginagawa ng mga bakuna, yung pong mga green na ito ay nagsisignify ng antibodies na ipinoproduce ng katawan. Okay? So, lahat po yan, kahit po ito ay yung Astra, kahit ito po ay yung sa Sinovac, kahit ito po yung Pfizer, Moderna, Novavax, lahat po niyan, ang endpoint po ay paggawa ng antibody. Okay? O ng ating panlaban sa katawan. Now, yun pong tinatawag, nakalagay po dito, protein subunit, yun nga po yung in-explain ko sa inyo, ang ginamit po niya parte ng inactivated virus or patay na virus. Ito po ang in-inject. In turn, magkakaroon po ng reaction at nagtitrigger yung immune response para magkaroon ng antibody. Yung pangalawa po, yung whole virus, yung protein subunit po na tinatawag natin, ito po yung mga subok na, no? Lahat po ito ay subok na maliban dun sa pangatlo na RNA, no, na nag-produce kagaya po ng sa Pfizer at Moderna. Medyo ang kanilang proseso po ay bago ang teknolohiya. Wala pa pong bakuna na ginawa prior dun sa Pfizer at ng Moderna, no. Pero yun pong tatlo, viral vector, whole virus at protein subunit, dati pong meron na pong mga nagawang bakuna na yan po ang naging proseso. Doon po sa protein subunit, ang kagaya po, ang dati pong mga bakuna na example po nito ay yung mga hepatitis vaccine, kagaya po rin nung HPV para sa cervical vaccine, no? At ang COVID-19 vaccine po na nakaangkla dito ay yung Novavax. Okay? Now, pagdating po dun sa whole virus, ang ginagawa po niya, yung buong virus, yung buong COVID-19, pinatay, inactivate siya, yun po mismo ang inilagay sa bakuna at yun din po ang ini-inject. Ang example naman po ng whole virus, ito po yung mga nagpabakuna na kagaya ng tigdas, ng polio, and the likes, no? Yun po yung mga dati ng mga ginawang bakuna na ang process ay yung whole virus na ini-inject. So, ngayon po, ang whole virus na ini-inject ay kagaya naman, pagdating sa COVID-19, ay yung Sinovac at yung Sinopharm. Okay? Kagaya po kanina, nasabi ko na po yung RNA, yun po yung sa Pfizer. Wala po akong mabigay na example, wala po tayong example ng dating mga bakuna na dahil ito po ay bagong teknolohiya. Pagdating po dun sa viral vector, ito po ay meron kang mahinang virus, inilagay mo yung genetic code dun sa loob ng mahinang virus na ito, at yun naman ang in-inject mo sa iyong katawan, no? Ang example po nito ay yung paano ginawa ang Ebola, anti-Ebola, no? Anti-Ebola virus. Ngayon po, ito po ang manner ng o proseso ng paggawa ng AstraZeneca. Okay? Sige po. Next. Next po. Yan. So, iisipin po natin, paano yung mekanismo naman, no? Paano naman tayo makakasiguro na ligtas at epektibo ito at cost-effective ito para sa bansa natin, no? Para sa atin din. So, marami pong experts ang nagsama-sama, mga scientists po sila, more likely parang mga nasa 45 experts, no, ang nagsama-sama para po mabantayan, no? May kanya-kanya po silang role para bantayan yung bakuna na ibibigay po sa atin. We have the number 1, yung Vaccine Expert Panel or the VEP. Sila po yung nagsasabi na safe ba to? Tinitingnan nila lahat ng mga researches, no? Titingnan, safe ba ang bakuna na ito? Mabisa ba siya? No? We also know the Food and Drug Administration na ito naman po ay nagbibigay ng emergency use authorization or the EUA, no? Na sasabihin na, sige, mabisa, effective, sige, bigyan na natin ng emergency use authorization. Okay? Now, meron din po yung kasama po nila yung Health Technology Assessment Council. Ito naman po ang nagsasabi na sulit ba ang gagastusin ng gobyerno natin para mabigyan tayo lahat ng proteksyon? Sulit ba yung bakuna na ito na bibilihin natin? Okay? And then, meron din pong National Immunization Technical Advisory Group wherein ito naman pong agency na ito ang nagsasabi or nagde-determine kung sinong mga groups ang uunahin o ipa-prioritize, no, na unang bakunahan. Okay? And the last one is the National Adverse Event Following Immunization Committee. Ito naman po mga tao dito, mga ekspertong ito ay nagsasabi kung ang mga naranasan o naramdaman ng ating nabakunahan ay nanggaling dun sa bakunang ibinigay at hindi lamang coincidence. Okay? Sige po. Next. Having said the priorities, yung priority groups, next please, sir. Okay, sorry po, medyo, hindi ko alam, parang malabo yata yung slide. Prioritization in the context of scarcity. Ngayon po, maiisip natin, buong mundo po kulang sa bakuna. Maliban po siguro dun sa mga malalaking at mayayaman na bansa na nakapagpondo na sila, no? Nakapagpondo na sila para mabakunahan yung kanilang mamamayan. It just so happened na buong mundo po kulang ang bakuna, no? Kulang ang bakuna. Hindi po kasi basta-basta ganon, no? Bibili ka ng bakuna agad, ganyan, no? Kasi hindi, yung pong demand ay napakataas, no? Versus the supply. So, supply and demand, na-appreciate ko kasi naintindihan ko siya. Syempre, kung mataas yung demand, tapos kulang yung supply, merong gap. Tama po? Ayan. So, dun po sa criteria, dun po yung objective po natin sa prioritization is ma-reduce yung mortality o bumaba yung pagkamatay or maiwasan yung pagkamatay kung hindi man, at ma-preserve yung healthcare system, no? Yung capacity o yung kakayanan ng mga healthcare providers natin na makapag-provide ng healthcare, no? Kasi pag sila ang tinamaan, sino nang mag-aalaga? Doon po nag-ugat yung ating criteria, no? Priority groups. Yung first priority po are the workers in the front line. Sila po yung mga nasa hospitals, nasa mga health facilities, no? Be it public or private. Sila din po yung mga nasa health centers, yung mga birth, no? Yung barangay health and emergency response team, yung pong mga nasa community na healthcare workers. Okay? Second priority, pag natapos na po yun, ang pupuntahan naman po nun ay yung mga eligible na senior citizens, no? Senior citizens at saka po yung susunod ay yung persons with comorbidities or yung meron known illness. Bakit sila isinunod? Kasi sila naman po yung mga vulnerable group na pag tinamaan ng sakit, posibleng mahirapang lumaban. Kaya po, uunahin na rin po silang mabakunahan. Ang fourth group ay yung frontliners pero not necessarily healthcare, pero sila po yung mga nasa essential workers at yung mga uniformed personnel. Bakit po sila kasama? Isinunod kasi po sila naman po yung maraming taong nakikita o nakakasalamuha everyday, no? It requires for their work na marami silang makasalamuhang tao na posibleng maging that could put them at risk. Okay? Next is the indigent population. Sabi nila, parati na lang indigent, no? Bakit naman ganoon? Parati na lang, ako yung nagtatrabaho, bakit hindi ako yung kasunod? Bakit sila? Meron pong reason why. Kasi if these indigent people in the urban setting, sila po yung mga halos nakatira sa dikit-dikit na mga bahay. Yung iba sa isang bahay, napakaraming tao, no? At sila po ang vulnerable group din na maituturing kasi pwede pong isa lang ang mahawahan sa kanila, pwede pong malalos yung buong pamilya. And they're the ones na hindi agad-agad nagpapa-ospital or nagpupunta sa mga healthcare providers kasi wala silang pera, yun ang sasabihin nila. Or sila yung hindi po maka-access agad ng healthcare. Okay? Sige po. Next slide. So, ang target po talaga natin when it comes to vaccination is the herd immunity. What is herd immunity? This is a graphic representation, no? Yun pong dito po sa first picture on your left, yun pong kulay blue ay vaccinated, no, na tao. At yun pong orange ay yung tao na infected. So if you can compare mula dun sa first picture hanggang dun sa second picture, pag mas maraming nabakunahan, mas kukonti po ang nagkakaroon ng reaction at nagkakaroon ng sakit. So, kailangan po, pag sinabing herd immunity, dapat po 70% of the total population ay mabakunahan. Okay? So, ang huli ko pong sasabihin sa inyo, the best vaccine is the one that is in your arm. Okay? Noon pong una, naghihintay pa po tayo ng ibang bakuna. Ang sa amin po, when I was vaccinated, ang sabi ko sa sarili ko, mas maganda na ang may proteksyon kesa wala. With that, maraming salamat po. I'll be entertaining questions if you have. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc Rech, for that informative presentation. For sure po, lahat po ng participants at this time, they will be guided for their future decisions. So, lahat po ng binigyan niyo po, for sure, reference po nila yan for their informed decisions. Sabi nga po, no, we have all our options and choices. Gusto mo ba na magkaroon ka ng proteksyon? Mag-isip. Gusto mo rin po ba gusto niyo po ba mga participants na maging bakunadong Pinoy at Pinay? So, palitan po natin yung isang commercial. Pwede po natin gawing my vaccine, my say. Ayan. So, di ba?
Yeah.
Mag-isip tayong lahat, isa po ko sa nabakunahan, tingnan niyo po ang epekto, lalo po kung gumaganda, whether you like it or not.
Correct, Nurse Cecil. Agree
Ayan,
ako.
lahat po kami ng mga nurses, dental aides, and also the medical officer po. Nagpabakuna na po kami last March 3, 4, and 5. Kami po ngayon ay buhay, alive, and kicking.
Correct.
Diba?
Nurse Cecil, meron ba silang mga questions? Kasi if,
Ayan po.
may questions ba sila?
May questions po ba kayo? You can type on the chat box.
Yes. If none, pwede kong i-share kasi sa kanila yung questions dun sa town hall meeting, no? Pero sige, entertainin muna natin if they are having questions.
Ayan po. There is a question from Ma'am Emilia Tolentino. Good afternoon, Doc Reg. We from the SDO Pasay, especially those reporting to schools, are considered frontliners ourselves. Tama po ba? When po kaya tayo from SDO Pasay mababakunahan?
Thank you, Ma'am Emily. Ma'am Ems, opo, tama po kayo. Considered frontliners din po talaga ang mga nasa DepEd. Tayo po sa DepEd ay nasa priority B, no? Priority B. Ang inuuna lang po na muna nila ay yung priority A, kagaya po ng kaninang sinabi ko. We start with the frontliners, down with the senior citizens, other frontliners kagaya po nung mga workers na maraming taong kausap din, no? Like the uniformed personnel, at the same time yung pong mga lastly yung indigent. After the indigent, nandun po nakasunod na po ang DepEd doon. Ipag-pray lang po natin na tayo ay mabigyan pa ulit ng maraming bakuna para po lahat tayo ay mabakunahan. Nakikita rin naman po ng national government yung ambag ng DepEd, kaya po inilagay din po siya sa priority. Ayan po. Thank you, Ma'am Emily.
Thank you for
Sorry.
your
Nurse Cecil, merong question si Sir Silwin dun sa backstage namin.
Opo, meron po. Pwede po ba siyang bakunahan?
Pwede daw siyang bakunahan. Pwede po naman, ganito po ang question po kasi, i-share ko na rin lang po sa inyo. Kung halimbawa po, kung ang isang tao po ay nag-positive, no? Kung ang tao ay nag-positive, pwede ba siyang bakunahan? Ang sagot po dyan ni Dr. Anna Lim is pwede naman siyang bakunahan. But because of the reason of scarcity, no? Konti nga lang po ang bakuna. We give the person infected by COVID-19 ng 90 days para magamit muna yung bakuna. Kasi po, remember, ang nangyari po dyan is an active immunity. Pag sinabi pong active immunity, nagkaroon po kayo ng sakit na COVID-19, tapos po, nag-develop din po ang katawan natin ng antibody, sarili nating antibody, which is long-lasting. Kung ilan pong taon, ilang panahon, hindi pa po natin alam dahil po kakapraso pa lang po yung oras natin para sa mga data, no? Data gathering. We are still in the data gathering stage. Kung gaano po katagal ang itinatagal ng antibody from an active infection, no? At kung tatanungin nyo rin po kung gaano ang itinatagal ng antibody na ipinroduce ng katawan natin after the vaccination, wala pa rin pong makapagsasabi dahil kakaprasong oras pa lang po ang pagmomonitor. Dun po sa mga naunang nabakunahan, pwede po silang magbigay ng data, no? Sabihin natin nagbakuna, kagaya po ng Israel, although hindi ko pa po nakita yung data na yon. Kagaya po sa Israel, nag-start po sila ng vaccination ng December, no? And today, it's more or less from December, January, February, March, going to the 4th month. Malamang po ang gagawin po niyan ay titingnan ulit kung gaano ang dami o marami pa bang antibodies ang present sa katawan ng mga taong nabakunahan. Makikita po kasi natin, kung maaalala nyo po, yung pinakita ko po kaninang graph, the thing that's good there is nag-decrease po yung cases and the number of hospitalizations and the number of critically ill individuals sa kanila after the second dose of vaccination. So, kung yung tinatanong po kung halimbawa magkaroon ng nag-COVID-19 infection na yung tao, ang ginagawa po natin for the purpose of makapagbigay din tayo dun sa iba, binibigyan po ng 90 days. No? 90 days from the time na siya ay up and about na, clinically maayos na ang pakiramdam ng tao na nagkaroon ng COVID-19 bago siya bigyan. It's not discussion on safety and kung effective. Of course, it will be effective and it's safe. Ang nagiging consideration lang po nito ay yung kakulangan kasi ng bakuna. Ibigay muna natin sa iba. Total, naka-encounter ka naman ng COVID-19 at posible naman na ikaw ay meron pang antibodies. Ayun po.
Thank you, Doc Reg. Another question po from Ma'am Flerida Pahariliaga. Good afternoon po, Doc Reg. Question lang po. Is it safe po ba ang bakuna sa mga individuals? I'm sorry, this is from Plex Fontejon. Mamaya ko po babasahin ka, Ma'am Flair. Good afternoon po, Doc Reg. Question lang po. Is it safe po ba ang bakuna sa mga individuals na meron pong existing diseases such as cancer? Meron po bang exception sa mga ganitong cases? Thanks po.
Okay. Ang sabi po ng ating vaccine expert during the town hall meeting, because mas kailangan ng mga vulnerable individuals, vulnerable meaning mabilis mahawahan. Cancer patients are not excluded, of course. Mababa ang immunity ng mga taong may cancer. So they really have to have the vaccine. Ang sabi po ni Dr. Ana Limong, siya po yung sinasabi ko na vaccine expert from PGH. Ang sinasabi po nila, kahit may high blood, kahit may diabetes, kahit may sakit sa puso, may cancer, they can all receive the vaccine provided na clinically stable ang mga taong ito. Okay? Clinically stable meaning naggagamot, yung mga high blood, mga diabetic, no? Naggagamot sila, they have their medications up and about, nakakalakad, they can go wherever, kung anong gusto nilang gawin, magagawa nila, kung saan nila gustong pumunta, mapupuntahan nila. But of course, not now kasi pandemic. But kidding aside, ang ibig ko lang pong sabihin, up and about yung tao na babakunahan, they can get vaccinated.
Thank you, Doc. Another question po from Ma'am Flair. Hi, Doc Reg. Thank you po for sharing. Just out of curiosity, how much po ang range ng amount of the vaccine and what vaccine po ang 1 dose lang?
Kasi po ganito, wala pong, kung ano po ang binibigay ng government, ito po ay libre. Wala pa pong sinasabi na magkakaroon po ng babayaran, no? If ever po na mapunta na ang vaccine sa private, no? Kasi po as of now, kagaya po ng sinabi natin, dahil because of the scarcity of vaccines all over the world, hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, ito po ay hindi ipinagbibili. In fact, kailangan pa po ng mga countries para hindi po sila mag-agawan, dumadaan po sila dun sa COVAX, no? Sila po yung COVAX po, sila po yung namamahala ng distribution para hindi lang po yung mga mayayamang bansa ang magkaroon ng bakuna. Kung hindi, kahit po yung mga mahihirap na bansa ay magkaroon din at makinabang. Now, what's the other question? Yung magkano, wala pa po talagang price, no? It does not have a price right now kasi po ang nakikipag-deal pa po talaga ngayon ay ang Philippine government. Yung next question, Nurse Cecil, sorry, I didn't quite catch it.
What vaccine po ang 1 dose lang?
Kasi po ganito, ang mga regimen po kasi ngayon ay 2 doses. Yung mga available po natin ay 2 doses talaga. So, the Sinovac and the AstraZeneca na nandito po sa atin is 2 doses ang ibinibigay.
Okay, thank you, Doc. The last question will be coming from Ma'am Chuchi Verhel. Ano po, what is the best vaccine for senior citizen?
Ganito po siya. Yung pong vaccine, yung Sinovac po kasi na available now, na na-inject po sa amin is categorically dapat po 15, ilang taon yun? Sa hanggang 6, hanggang 59 years old, no? Yung vaccine na yon. Pero there are some na dahil nga sa kagustuhan nila na mabakunahan agad-agad, nag-sign sila ng waiver para mabigyan sila kahit Sinovac. Ang sinasabi po nila for seniors ay pinapaantay nila ang AstraZeneca. I don't have any experience with AstraZeneca. I can only say the experience that I have. Of course, hindi pa po ako senior. Kaya lang I can say that yung pong time na nagpabakuna po ako ng Sinovac, negligible po yung mga pakiramdam na naramdaman po. Okay? Wala po akong naramdaman na masakit sa balikat or dito sa site of injection. Wala din po akong naramdaman na sakit ng ulo. Meron pong time na lightheaded, pero minsan po kasi parang sa amin po kasing mga medical people, lahat po kasi nirarasunan namin, no? Kagaya po no, nagpabakuna po kami, syempre 2 oras po kami naghintay sa pila. So naturally, inisip ko rin, pagkatapos nito, gutom na ako, lightheaded na ako. So, yun po kasi yung naramdaman ko, medyo lightheaded. Pero that's a transient thing. Hindi po siya long-lasting. No? Masaglit-saglit. Some of our colleagues naka-experience ng mild na parang nilalamig. Ako pala, nakaramdam din ako nun. Nilamig ako, pero hindi siya tuloy-tuloy. Pero wag po tayong mag-alala. Hindi rin po kami nag-alala doon because we are thinking that yun po yung way ng katawan natin to combat anything that's foreign to the body. Of course, the vaccine is foreign to the body. And yun nga po, dahil foreign siya, gagawa siya ng panlaban. No? Gumagana yung immune system namin, gumana yung immune system namin to combat something that's foreign na ibinigay o inintroduce sa amin. So, when it comes to senior citizens, ang sabi po nila ay AstraZeneca. Kasi categorically dapat po 60 years old and up po ang bibigyan ng AstraZeneca. Ang sinasabi ko lang po, meron din po kaming mga kasamahan na senior citizen din na nagpabakuna rin ng Sinovac na okay lang din sila. There was a time na medyo umakyat yung blood pressure pero feeling ko po hindi dahil doon sa pag-akyat, hindi siya dahil doon sa bakuna per se, but yung anxiety mo ba na ano ba to, bago to eh. Parang the fear of the unknown, no? Yung fear of the unknown. Ano ba mangyayari dito after nitong bakunang to? No? So medyo mas aware ka lang sa lahat, sa paligid mo, sa buong katawan mo, aware ka lang lahat. Okay? So, pero yan nga po, kagaya ng sinabi ko, hanggang 59 years old ang Sinovac. But if you plan to have Sinovac, you can ask the medical personnel na mag-sign lang po ng waiver, pumapayag po sila. Thank you po.
Thank you, Dr. Rich, for giving us a legit and factual information. Sana po, ang lahat po ng participants today, they will be guided on their future decisions. Marami pong salamat, Dr. Rich, and see you soon. Mamaya-maya.
Thank you, mamaya. Thank you.
Okay? Last part na po to na activity. Konting-konti na lang po matatapos na po tayo. At sana po nandito pa rin po kayo while dinidiscuss po ang proposed programs and projects and also the mutual aid and benefits for the members, none other than Mr. Silwin S. Tenorio, EPS2, on social immobilization. He is also the PIO of the NTPA of Pasay City. Bigyan po natin si Sir Sylvie ng mine. Applause.
Thank you so much, Nurse Cecil. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Ayan. Tayo po ngayon ay nasa bahay na work from home. So, alive and kicking po tayo. So, this afternoon po, I'm going to discuss the proposed program.
Sir Sylvie?
Yes po.
Sir, medyo lang po, mahina po ang audio. Mahina lang
Teka
po.
lang po. Wait lang po
Apa, thank you po, sir. Of Dr. Rich, tandaan po natin right after po the vaccination, kailangan pa rin po tayong mag-adhere sa safety protocols. So, hindi po natin kakalimutan yun na kapag magbabakuna, makakalimutan na po natin yung safety protocols. Hindi po. Tandaan po natin, I would like to underscore po, vaccination is one of the effective strategies to prevent COVID-19. So, nandiyan na po ba ulit si Sir Sylwin?
Nurse, ayan, naririnig na po
Ayan,
ba?
medyo malakas na po. Take it away, sir.
Sorry po, nagkumuha lang ako ng headset. Ayan, medyo nasa likod po ako. Ayan. So, good afternoon po. By the way, once again, I'm Mr. Sylvin Tinoyo, Education Program Specialist. At the same time po, ako po ang PIO ng ating non-teaching personnel association po. So, Sir Eric, ano na po yung ating slide po. Slide deck. Okay po. So, ngayon po, tutukuyin lang po natin yung ilang pinaplano lamang po ng mga project and programs po ng ating Asosasyon for Non-Teaching Personnel. Sabi nga po nila, sige po, yung slide po. Okay po. Okay. So, ang tatalakayin ko lang po ngayon ay yung ating proposed programs and some projects po. Pero yung iba po, yung kagaya po ng mutual aid benefits of members, yan po ay sa ibang pagkakataon po natin tatalakayin gawa ng kung mapapansin niyo po, meron po dun sa ating memo na kailangan po nating isign para po doon po tayo magkaroon po ng pagkakaisa para po dito sa tinatawag nating mutual aid benefits for each members. Okay? So, tuloy na po natin. Hindi ko na po papakahabaan pa. So, sinasabi po dyan, Employee Wellness Program. Okay? The main purpose of our wellness program for the SDO non-teaching personnel is to help promote a healthier lifestyle and encourage the employees to be more active and healthy in this new normal. Alam naman po natin na kailangan nating labanan. Kagaya nga po ng sinasabi ni Doktora, kahit po may vaccine na, we need also to be more healthier po in this pandemic po. Okay? So, ito po yung mga ilang mga dapat po na benefits po natin for the employers or ang DepEd po. Mai-improve po natin ang recruitment, increase retention, reduce turnover, yung mga nagre-resign, umaalis, ayan, yung mga gayon po. Reduce absenteeism rate, syempre po, yan po, ayaw po natin na lahat ay may absent. Okay? Lower employee benefit costs, and then enhance corporate image po bilang mga kinatawan po ng DepEd. So ito po yung benefits po natin as employee po. Opo? Increase awareness of health risks. Okay? Reduce the risk of disease. Siyempre po, lahat po ng mga sakit. Boost employee morale and productivity and build relationship among employees. Ito po yung mga magiging benefits po natin as mga employee po ng DepEd Pasay kapag nagkaroon po tayo ng mga program and activities po. Ilan po ito? Ito po, next po. Okay. Sa wellness po, meron po tayo dyan propose na physical wellness, emotional wellness, occupational wellness, spiritual wellness, social wellness, and intellectual wellness. Okay. Sabi nga po nila, wellness is just also the perk for our SDO to give us more healthier body and for our body and for our environment as well as in our environment in our own workplace. Okay? Hindi naman po lingid sa atin na marami na po nagkaka-COVID. Tayo pong mga non-teaching ay laging nandyan para po maglingkod sa ating paaralan. So, okay po. Diretso na po natin, Sir Eric. Okay, ito po yung ilang mga proposed physical activities po natin. First po, magkakaroon muna po tayo ng consultation sa ating mga PE teacher po. Susubukan po natin na magkaroon ng consultation po sa ating sa mga nurses o sa ating kay Dr. Reg, kagaya po kanina ng mga sinasabi niya. So, magkakaroon din po muna tayo ng tinatawag na for physical activities. Lahat po ng empleyado ng bawat school ay kukunin po muna natin yung ating mga BMI o yung tinatawag nating mga body mass index. Okay, na kung saan po itatap po natin yung mga PE major po natin o mga PE teacher, sila po yung magdo-document yan. Kukunin lang po yung mga body mass index po natin kung tayo ba ay obese, kulang tayo sa weight, yung mga ganyan po. For proper documentation na rin po. Then, magkakaroon din po tayo ng mga indoor games. Dito po sa DepEd Pasay po, sinimulan na po natin with the approval po ng ating President, sa Attorney Jean, at ng lahat din po ng mga lahat po ng mga opisyal na non-teaching. And together with our SDS po, nagkakaroon po kami ng indoor games na badminton lang po. Pero po, wag po kayong mag-alala, we are following po the IATF protocol po. Ilan lang po kami. That nangyayari po ito every Wednesday and Friday po. Pailan-ilan lamang po, ini-schedule po, 5, 3, 4 po, para lamang po magkaroon po ng pagkakataon ng bawat isa na kahit papaano po ay makapag-exercise in this new normal. So, pinopropose din po natin na sa bawat school ay magkaroon din kayo ng mga indoors games. Depende po yan sa inyong mga pangangailangan in your own respective workplace po. Okay? So we're planning also to have the outdoor games po, na kung saan po ito pong mga outdoor games po na ito po isasagawa na natin na hopefully po lahat tayo mabaksinan na at the end of the year or sa mga susunod na mga buwan po, magawa po natin ang mga outdoor games para po mapagpawisan na rin po tayo at maranasan na rin po natin ulit ang kumilos in the new normal po. Okay? So we're planning also po, ito po, mga propose lang po ito ha, yung sport quiz po, ito po ay isasagawa natin maaaring by cluster, sa buong division po, yan po yung pinaplano lang natin. Kung tayo po ay magiging normal na po sa susunod na mga buwan, o lahat po tayo, gaya ng sinabi ni Doktora, kung lahat po tayo ay makatanggap na po ng vaccine. So lahat po ng mga physical activities na ito, depende po ito sa pangangailangan nating lahat. Okay po? Na kung saan malaki pong maitutulong nito sa ating pangangatawan, baka po mamaya hindi na natin napapansin na yung pala hindi na accurate yung katawan natin dun sa edad natin, yung timbang natin sa edad natin, may mga ganyan po. So yun po yung purpose po ng ating physical activities na ito. Okay, next po. Siyempre po, we have also the emotional and psychological activities. Hindi naman po lingid sa atin na in this new normal, gaya po ng mga nabanggit kanina ng mga speakers natin o ni Doktora kanina na ilan sa mga percentage po ng namatay dito sa Pasay ay kamag-anak natin, kaibigan natin, or kakilala kaya natin, or ilan ba sa atin ang mga may kakakilala na nagkaroon na ng COVID. Alam niyo po, mahirap po ang magkaroon ng COVID at mahirap po ang ma-quarantine. Sobrang hirap po, emotionally, psychologically, napakahirap po. Kaya po ito ay isang paraan po ng activities po or program po ng ating asosasyon na magkaroon po yan. Sa pangunguna po, syempre, we were going to tap po yung mga guidance counselors po natin, yung mga PFA po natin, PFA, tawag po dito, mga advocates po, sila po talaga yung mga tagapanguna po. For example po, sa Pasay West po, si si Sir Randy po, isa po yan sa mga bihasa po sa psychological activities. At marami rin po sa bawat eskwelahan po natin. Dito po sa division office natin, nagkaroon na po. Alam ko po na ito po ay isang pangangailangan po natin. May mga kasamahan po tayo, may mga kakilala na dumaranas na ng emotional stress at psychological stress po, lalo na ngayong may COVID. So, sa ngayon po, katulad ko po, ako po ngayon dumaranas ng emotional and psychological stress po. Kasi po, medyo na tayo po ay wag naman sana po. Okay? So, yan po yung mga plano po nating activities. So, let's proceed po. Okay po. Okay, siyempre po, we need also, as an individual po, we need spiritual activities. Spirituality is a broad concept with room for many perspective po, na kung saan po plano po ng ating asosasyon with the approval din po syempre ng ating samahan na magkaroon din po tayo ng this new Holy Week po, recollection, or maganda rin po na magkaroon po tayo ng mas depende po yan sa kung ano po yung mapagkakasunduan ng mga non-teaching po. Okay. Ang purpose po natin dito is to enlighten our spirit in this new normal. Ito po ay kailangan natin na kung saan ito lang po yung pinanghahawakan natin. Kasi napakasarap po na tumanggap minsan na mga quotes po na may kinalaman po sa ating mga spiritual na pangangailangan bilang mga katolikong bansa. Okay? So, proceed po tayo. Okay, so yung po mga programs po natin, marami po kayo. Gaya po nung nasabi ko as what I mentioned po dun sa ating mga kapwa po members or mga officers po ng non-teaching, gagawa po tayo ng Google link na kung saan po pwede po kayong mag-suggest ng mga programs and activities. Ilan po sa mga ito ay, ito po yung ilan po sa mga plano po natin. Magkaroon po ng, sige po, pakilipat na sir. Okay, magkakaroon po tayo ng non-teaching uniform. Ito po, plano po natin na magkaroon po ng non-teaching uniform na hindi po in any form. Na kung saan ang tela, kung kakayanin po natin na magpatahe, depende po ito sa mapagkakasunduan nating lahat. Isa po itong magandang plano. Hindi na po tayo pupunta pa sa kung saan saang lugar para bumili. Dito na lamang po sa ating samahan, bibili na lang po tayo ng tela, tapos tayo na po lang po magpapatahe kung ano po yung design na inalat po para sa atin ng central office o ng ating gobyerno. Yun po yung ating susundin for non-teaching uniform. Na kung saan, ito po ay mabibili lang sa murang halaga na kagaya po para magkaroon din po tayo. Kasi po kung titignan natin yung marketing strategy, yung iba bumibili, kumikita yung mga namumuhunan. Kung what if tayo po mismo sa atin po ito? Kung ito po isang magandang proyekto po ng ating samahan o asosasyon. Okay, so yan po, non-teaching uniform. We are planning for the uniform, for the lahat na po, covered na po yan para po sa lahat ng non-teaching. Okay, so next po. Ito po yung isang maganda. Pinaplano po na magkaroon po ng kooperatiba na ngayon po ay isusulong na po ng ating samahan o asosasyon na kung saan po ito po ay pangungunahan po ng ating mga leader ng ating samahan at mga bihasa po sa kooperatiba at pag-aaralan na po yung pagtatayo po ng kooperatiba para po sa lahat ng mga non-teaching personnel na kung saan tayo po mismo ang magbe-benefits dito. Alam ko po na meron kayong agam-agam o doubts, pero kung ito po ay pagsasama-samahan po natin at pagtutulungan po natin, ang pagkakaroon po ng isang kooperatiba ay isa pong maganda na kung saan alam ko po na maraming matutulungan sa atin at higit sa lahat marami po tayong magiging pag nagkaroon po tayo ng kooperatiba. Yan po ang pangarap natin na magkaroon ang ating sangay. Okay? Next po is yung pong tinatawag nating online Zumba. Yung online Zumba po, sasagawa na po natin yan sa mga darating po na mga panahon. Kasi po, di po ba, hindi tayo pwedeng lumabas kung nasa workplace lang po tayo kahit once a week po magkaroon po tayo ng Zumba online po, kahit 30 minutes lamang po, maganda po na at least makakilos tayo, pagpawisan tayo, para naman po mas maging healthy po ang ating katawan po natin. So, gaya po ng inulit ko, I will not stay for long po. Ito lamang po ay ilang mga iyahain po namin sa ating lahat o sa inyong lahat para po na kung ano po ang gusto ninyong mangyari sa ating asosasyon from the legal basis, from all the health tips hanggang dito po sa mga employees welfare po natin, ay nais pong ihatid ng ating asosasyon na maging healthy po ang lahat. Kasi nga po, health is wealth, sabi nga po. We are all dreaming for all these programs and projects to become possible. Because in SDO Non-Teaching Personnel Association, we believe that we can create better plans, a better program, and we can transform our SDO and NTP Association better po para sa ating lahat. So, hindi ko na po pakakahabaan pa. We will send you link para po makapagbigay kayo ng suggestions. Kung meron po kayong suggestion ng mga programs and activities para po mas maging healthy po tayong lahat sa ating mga workplace po. So with that, I will not talk any longer po kasi po medyo mahaba na po yung pakikinig po ninyo. So maraming salamat po. Okay po? Thank you po sa inyong lahat. Okay, so Nurse Cecil. Okay, siguro po wala naman po tayong may mga question po ba?
Thank you, Sir Silwin, for
Hello,
unfolding
Nurse.
po the projects and the proposed programs plus the mutual aids and benefits for the members po.
Yes po. By the way po, ang mutual aids po natin, we will be discussed po in a different platform po para po mas mapaghusay po natin ang ating samahan. Pero ganun pa man po, lahat po ng ito ay napaghirapan na at plinansya na po ng lahat ng bumubuo. At nagpapasalamat po ako siyempre sa ating presidente at sa ating pong lahat na nangunguna sa ating asosasyon. Sabi nga po, Nurse, di ba, ang ikatatagumpay nga po ng asosasyon ay nasa pagsasama ng lahat. Gagayahin ko po. Sabi nga po, palibhasay walis, magkakabigkis. Ayan.
Tama po, Sir Silwin. At laban
Okay po.
lang.
Laban lang po. Kaya po to. Thank you,
Sir
Nurse.
Silwin. Have a nice day and stay safe.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Nurse.
Thank you po. So, siksik, liglig at umaapo po ang activities for today. But before we end po, I would like to request all the speakers po to open their cameras. Ayan, for the virtual giving po of the certificates of recognition. Ayan, marami pong salamat. Palakpakan po natin ang masaya ang lahat po ng speakers. Salamat po. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. So, I will be giving po the certificates po. I'll be reading the citation po. At sana po kahit group lang po ito, kami po ay from our heartfelt gratitude, marami po salamat. So, I'll be reading po the citation and the certificate of recognition. Sabay-sabay ko na lang po, babanggit ko po ang mga pangalan to all the speakers for today with our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Ronel Arellano, Mr. Noel P. Miranda, Attorney Rujen S. Usmeña, Attorney Domingo B. Alidon, Dr. Maria Rizal Enriquez Reyes, and hindi po natin pagliliban po ito, Mr. Silwin S. Tenorio. This certificate is presented to all the speakers for their valuable contribution as resource speakers during the SDO Pasay non-teaching personnel. Sorry, hindi ko na mabasa. General Assembly for today. Marami pong salamat given and signed by Dr. Loretta B. Torrecapo, CESO 5. Ayan, marami pong salamat. And sana po in the future assembly, we'll be seeing you once again and I hope it will not be virtual anymore. Salamat po. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Stay safe, everyone. Thank
Stay
you.
safe po, Kathy.
Salamat.
So,
Stay healthy.
natin ang ating activity for today with the closing message from, nakikita ko po kasi siya and I find him matalino po talaga. Totoo po yun, wala yung joke yun, sir, ah. Opo, I find him gift, I found, the gift of leadership po sa ating curriculum instruction and development head, none other than bonggang-bongga. Bigyan po ng palakpakan, Mr. Librado P. Torres.
Yan, maraming salamat sa ating host MC. To our very inspiring leaders, our very dynamic Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Loretta B. Torrecampo, SSO5, to our very energetic Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Arturo A. Tolentino, of course, to the President and officers of our, Non-Teaching Personnel Association, headed of course by our President, Attorney Jean Lituskin, and of course sa ating mga staff, personnel, highly motivated men and women of the Schools Division of Pasay City. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Unang-una ay we would like to extend our warmest greetings and felicitations to the officers, of course, headed by Attorney Jean, for this very, very worthy endeavor, worthy engagement. Of course, this is for the benefit of our non-teaching personnel in the Schools Division Office, both in the SDOP, SDO proper, and the school-based non-teaching personnel. Isa pong kagalakan at kasiyahan na meron tayong mga ganitong mga gawain na tunay namang para sa ating mga non-teaching personnel. Sabi nga natin sa ating mga gawain, human resource is our greatest asset. Kaya naman patuloy tayo sa mga gawaing magbibigay ng malawakan, mahigit na motibasyon sa ating mga empleyado, personnel, para sa mas higit pang produktibong mga araw para sa ating lahat. And that is, of course, for the welfare, for the benefit of our clients who are the children in our academic institutions. And we thank also our inspirations, our SDS, Dr. Lori, and our ASDS, Dr. Art, for the very, very great support that they give to the association. Malaking suporta po ang ginagawa ng ating SDS, ang binibigay po nila kasama ang ating ASDS sa ating mga non-teaching personnel, gayon din naman sa teaching, no? At yun po ay ipinagpapasalamat namin dito sa SDO Pasay. So muli, marami pa tayong aasahang mga gawain sa pangunguna ng ating association, Pasay City Non-Teaching Personnel Association. So ito ay palalawakin natin, palalakihin pa natin, at kamukha nga ng aking nabanggit, para sa mas higit na produktibong mga empleyado ng ating Schools Division Office. So muli po, congratulations sa ating Non-Teaching Personnel Association, at mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Torres, sa inyong huling message po para po sa lahat ng NTPs. Again, I would like to acknowledge the support and the valuable insights provided to us by all the speakers, and the presence of our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Loretta B. Torrecampo, our ASDS, Dr. Art Tolentino, the Chief Education Program Supervisors, the Public School District Supervisors, the Unit Heads and Section Heads, Senior Program Specialists, Education Program Specialists 2, project development officers, the school's principals, the administrative officers, the assistant aides, and all the non-teaching personnel. Marami pong salamat for staying with us until this time po. And sa lahat po ng NTPs out there, isa lang po ang masasabi ko. Act as if you always do a difference. Make a difference lahat po mga taga-NTP, and we will surely be awarded in the future. Marami pong salamat. This has been your host, Maria Cecilia B. Contapay, or for short, Ate Cecil, saying thank you and see you again. Have a nice weekend and God bless you all.